It's the Miss Knockout Show on the airwaves. So like, if I, share if I, bless if I, the flow. It's the Miss Knockout Show. Now you already know. Hot topics, music, info, and more. If you ain't tapped in, what you came here for? MKO got the vibe, that's a full takeover. From beats to biz talk, yeah, the queen stay in clover. Trending every lane, I'm the glow you can't block. When I drop gems, whole chat goes shock. We don't do brokeify, now we amplify. Stay blessed if I let the energy fly. Hit that tapify, keep it all in the flow. Cause it's a Miss Knockout Show. Knockout Show. Hot topics, beats and the glow. You rockin' with Miss Knockout. Let's go.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Miss Knockout Show. You know, we'll get on track next week. I'm just trying to figure out what time I should come on. I'm looking at it like around, 8 or 9 o'clock, maybe 10. I don't know. Still trying to figure it out, but we'll get there, people. Well, welcome on in. Welcome, everybody on Y to the Tubesy, Face to the Booksies, Twitchy, and we even on Kixies. Read between the lines. I'm changing the words around a little bit, but y'all get the drifts, right? And we on the Xe. We all over, okay? It's 7 p.m. in London, see? That's why I got to get on here earlier, Lunabelle. You know I'm on the Y to the Tubesy, like I'm streaming across the boards, but, I got to figure out my time and stick with it. Okay, so 8 o'clock. So you said it's 7 o'clock. I'm talking to my friend in London here before we get started. So it's 7 p.m. there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So if I go on at 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, right? So I should go on at 8 o'clock so that my people in London could get some of the fun. What's up, Lila? Everybody come on in. Welcome to Miss Knockouts Live. Everybody come on in. How's everybody doing? All right, this is another day in the Miss Knockout universe. All right, I want everybody to tapify, and we got 17 people on the Y to the Tubesy. I want to see you put hashtagifications in the comments. Tapify, shareify, join the super fans. All right, and all my people on Y to the Tubesy, make sure you give the video a thumbs up so we could push the video out. Good afternoon, YTD. Give the thumb. Thank you, Charlene. So Friday I was on set, and then yesterday I felt sluggish, ruggish. Hold on, y'all. I got to get a little air going. I felt a little sluggish, ruggish, right? I felt a little thuggish, ruggish, so I took it down and got a little rest. And I'm back now, better than ever. All right. And, something like shut my energy down. So I said, okay, let me, sometimes when your body is talking to you, you got to listen. You got to listen when your body is talking to you. All right. Now, we're going to get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. All right. I'm going to start off with the Spirit Airlines thing because that's new. We're going to go into Ashlee Jenae, new developments. They brought her body home. Her funeral is on the 5th. I was looking to see if it was near me. I was going to go. Not the stream. I was going to maybe do a little clip outside or something. I wasn't going to stream there, of course. I don't stream at funerals, right? But I did want to go to pay my respects because I covered the story, and see that young lady off. But it's 4 hours from where I'm at. I would have to take a train and another train and another train and like 4 trains for a 4-hour ride. So I was like, I better sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? And even Fumi, all the way over there in Europe, she said she was in Jersey. She would go to on the funeral. Everybody got attached to this case because we feel like we almost never gonna find out what happened to this girl. Like, it's like we ain't gonna never find out, you know? And she deserves her justice. You know, she was silenced. I feel like she was silenced, and I feel like they don't want us to find out. They don't want us to find out what happened to her, and they don't want to find out us to find out why they silenced her. So let's go, though. Let's go to Spirit Airlines first. All right. Now, who heard about, everybody keep tapifying. I'm jumping right into hot topics because people come and they leave. What's up, Uncle David? If I'm not jumping right in, they come and they leave. So if you miss anything and you jumping in late, just go to the Y to the Tuesday, right? And you can replay it back from the beginning. All right. And when we end, you can replay it from the beginning. Hello there. What's up, Uncle Dave? How are you? How you doing, Uncle Dave? What's up with you? Yeah, so let's talk about Spirit Airline closing, right? Let's talk about Spirit Airline closing. Now, many of you might say, wow, Spirit Airline closing. Like, wow. Now I didn't follow, apparently there was trouble with Spirit Airlines from, let's see. Spirit Airlines been having trouble. And yes, here we go. The trouble began with the man that name starts with a T, got into office, unfortunately. Now, I try to talk about him as less as I can because he's, they're targeting media. They're going after Jimmy. You should see the video that Jimmy Kimmel made. Oh my gosh, y'all got to see the video that Jimmy Kimmel. I said, Jimmy Kimmel don't give a F about his job. Jimmy Kimmel, you give zero fuck. You said, what? Fire who? Jimmy Kimmel made a video. It is so funny. I wish I could show it, but I don't know if TikTok is going to say something about it. I don't know if TikTok is going to say something about it, but I do want to show it. So Jimmy Kimmel made this crazy video about, go look it up. He did it on his latest show, right? How long they being around? How long has who been on Spirit Airlines? Oh, that's a very good question. How long has Spirit Airlines been around? That's a very good question. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how long Spirit Airlines been around. All right. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. How long has Spirit Airlines been in business? So that's a good question. How long have they been in business? So let's see. So Spirit Airlines, the timeline. So they started as a company called Charter One Airlines in 1983. In 1982, they became officially known as Spirit Airlines and started regular flights. And May 2nd, they shut down. Now, what is the nucleus of the problems that people are having today? Who and what is the nucleus? Well, of course, you know who the nucleus of the problem this is. And everything's all alleged in Miss Knockouts Live. Okay, let me get the gift gallery. Everything's all alleged in Miss Knockouts Live. All right. It's from the time I open the screen to the time I close it. All right. But I'm just kicking them facts. All right. So the man that starts with a T, when he got in office, right? Now, I don't know if you remember, when he got in office, the man that's his name starts with a T. And I say it like that because if they come for me, the man that starts with a T can be anybody, technically, right? Because he is coming at the content creators, media people, And if you ain't talking nice about him, he's coming after you. Right? So we switching stuff around. Hey, Slave Braids, what's up with you? Slave Braids, she listens to me while she's braiding that hair. And it passes the time away, right? Sometimes when you braiding hair and you listening to me, Slave Braids, don't the time go real quick? You go, wow. I don't know if you listen to me while you braid the braids, but I'm just assuming. Right? What's up, Slave Braids? The Shine is here. What's up, everybody that's in the building? Yes, it goes quick. All right? Let's give everybody a little shout out. We got Luna Bell. We got Slave Braids. We got Uncle Dave 2.0. We got the Sean. We got Ambi. We got Tay, T-A-I 168. We got Charlene. We got Aileen. We got 6T Moore. We got NTG. We got E-Money. We got Clips. We got Lila. We got Trisha. We got Nosy Nurse. We got the Tiffany. We got Lioness. We got EXO. We got Jill. We got Kathleen. We got Daryl. We got Pretty Eyes. We got Jasmine. We got Ayan, the Queen. We got Squeaky Squeak. We got Uncle T Puck Pucks. We got Nita Rose. We got Hallie Girl 902. We got Nene Love, and we got Butterfly. I like to shout everybody out because I like to acknowledge people when they come to my live and they're spending their time, because they could be doing anything right now, but they sitting here and they're kicking it with Miss Knockout. Sometimes I go on people's live and they don't be giving people the time of day, even when they drop gifts. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of you that's in the live kicking it. Okay, welcome. Get back to Spirit Airlines. All right. So now I don't know if y'all remember or not, right? Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. I like those little sheeps. They're cute. I don't know if y'all remember or not, but when the man that started a name who starts with a T first got elected, okay, remember the plane started doing all these weird things all of a sudden. There was and everything's all alleged. There was a lot of crashes. There was a lot of stuff going on. There was people getting fired. You know what I'm saying? Right now that the TSA was messed up a little while ago. Okay, but let's start back from when the planes were dropping like flies, allegedly. People were scared to fly. People wasn't buying tickets. I know I wasn't. Wasn't y'all scared to fly when all those planes were dropping? I know I said I ain't flying nowhere. To this day, I don't want to fly anywhere, right? But the man that starts with the T, right? He was involved in firing those experienced doggone air controls men, saying that they were DIE, shuffling stuff around, right? And that's where the problem began. They had a little bit of money problems, right, along the years. But when the man came and started with the T, right, they started to have major bleed out in the red with money problems because people weren't flying like that. Planes were crashing. People were getting fired. You know what I'm saying? They were letting people go, right? And my theory was, and everything's all alleged, that they were doing all these things so that Elon Musty, or what's up, Blueprint, can buy. He wanted Starlink to control the air towers. I don't know if y'all know about that, but that's another story for another day. See, I do a lot of research, right? I ain't talk about this because I didn't have nothing to attach it to. But at one time when Musty was in there, and he was Musty the president, he wanted to take over the air towers, and he wanted to get Starlink a contract, all right? That trust is being diminished daily, right? By the second, Luna Bell, by the second, right? What's up, William? And so they, all these stuff was happening like it ain't happened before. Planes wasn't crashing like that before. Why they mysteriously starting to crash when the man that starts with the T gets in the office? So their problems started from there, and they started bleeding in the red. Now remember, okay, let me give you a little insight. When Spirit Airlines came along, what did they offer? The lowest prices. Spirit Airline offered the lowest prices, right? And the other airlines had to compete with Spirit. So they had to lower their prices in order to compete with, I'm going to buy a ticket for $100, or am I going to buy a ticket for $300? I'm going to pick the $100. I'm going to go with Spirit. It might be a little ghetto. It might be a couple of fights on there. It might be a couple of wigs snatched. Why does Spirit Airlines always have the fights, y'all? Spirit Airlines always had the fights, right? So, I'm going to go with the ticket that's the cheapest, right? So it made all the other airlines lower their tickets because Spirit was giving them a run for their moneyification, right? So now, we had some good airline tickets because now Delta looked over at Spirit and said, uh-oh, they offering the same trip for $100. Oh, no, we got to lower our prices, right? But now, I heard about Starlink wanting to take over WTS2, the news. Yeah, he wanted to take over a lot of stuff. But now he's jammed up because he's on the outs now. He is on the outs. That's another person I'm waiting to go rogue. And we didn't even talk about how the vice president allegedly, did y'all hear that he got demoted to press secretary? And that girl is supposed to be going off and having a baby. She's the worst, allegedly worst press secretary in history. Oh my gosh. That blonde-haired woman. What's her name? She's the worst one. She's like she reminds me of the Stepford Wives. She is the worst. She's covering his every move. Well, I got to look this up, but I'm hearing that she might be going out on a leave, right? Bondy? Well, no, Bondi was the, you're talking about the Attorney General, Liz. She got fired too. I think you're talking about the Attorney General, right? But she, she's going on a leave for some reason. I got to look it up and do the research on it. And Bondi, is that her name, Bondi? Or is that I thought that was the Attorney General that got fired. I'm going to look it up. Let me look up with the press secretary. Let's see. What's press? Okay, so what is her name? Let's see. Is it Bondi? Carolyn Levitt. Carolyn Levitt. And she's actually the youngest press secretary ever. She's a YN, and we can tell. Easily molded. Why do they choose the young people? Because they're easily molded and impressive. So she announced that she would go on maternity leave because she's about to have a baby. Who is lying now with you, miss? Let me be nice. Be nice, knockout. How could you sleep at night? Okay, so yeah, so she's going on leave, right? And guess who's filling in for her? JD Vance. That you couldn't find somebody else, Tepper. You got to put the vice president to fill in for this chick. So technically, he got a demotion, didn't he? Yes or no, y'all? Is that technically he got a demotion or what? Let's get back on track because I digress. So, Spirit Airlines was the competition. And as of May 2nd, the airlines, guess what? Ain't got nobody to compete with now. And the airlines is going to raise their prices again. Now, there's a couple of things that contributed to Spirit Airline closing. And we're going to go over it in a minute. But one of the things that contributed to Spirit Airline closing lately is that they can't afford fuel. Remember, an airplane, just like a car, runs on fuel. And their fuel is expensive. It ain't like the premium pump number 4, right? Put pump number 4 in the Maybach. It's not like pump number 4. So they couldn't afford. Here of lately, what put the nail in the coffin is that they could not afford the sky rising and rocketing fuel costs. It's rocketing out of control because this man that starts with a T is still down the road messing with those people. And the Strait of Hormuz can't deliver our goods straight because they keep effing with it. Right? So gas prices is going up, airplane fuel is going up, everything is going up. So they are going out of business for 30 years. As of May 2nd, which is when? Today. Hello? As of May 2nd, flatline, no more. All the people that bought tickets from May 2nd on will get a refund. Now, suppose you were scheduled to fly out somewhere May 2nd. You got a 7-day vacation book. You're supposed to fly out May 2nd. Boom, Spirit Airlines closed. And it's another inconvenience. Another inconvenience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sharing it with some people. Hold on, y'all. And now you got to book another flight. Now you got to book another flight because now you got hotel, you got plans, you got stuff you want to do, and now you got to get there, right? So you're on my FYP. Oh, I'm on the FYP? Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in. Eric, hey, Eric Molina, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Everybody coming in, I'm Miss Knockout. I do hot topics. You might know me for covering the Diddy trial. All right. And I do hot topics mostly every day. You know, unless I have something going on or I get booked for something. I'm here mostly every day. Yesterday I wasn't here because I was a little tired. So you got to listen to your body when you're tired. But right now, we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first thing on the agenda is Spirit Airlines closing as of today, May 2nd. And like I say, the nucleus of all problems in America is the man that starts with a T. They were trying to make stuff work. They were trying to merge with JetBlue, but that didn't work out. The man that starts with the T was fiddling around with doing, like trying to get it taken over by his cronies like he did TikTok. That didn't work out. And them not being able to afford fuel put the nail in the coffin, right? So Spirit Airlines needed a $5 million bailout deal. All right. So as of May 2nd, they canceled all flights immediately and stopped running the airline. Now, if you go to Instagram, even the clock and all over social media, you know, I feel bad for Spirit Airlines, flight attendants and the workers of Spirit Airlines. We always, as the people, the working class, we always get the short end of the stick. Now they got to go find more jobs. It's hard enough even when you got a job. It's hard enough when you got a job, you still don't make no money. Right? Who works every day, 5 days a week and still don't have no damn money? Right? So now you got to go out and find you another job. There's only so many airline attendants that these other airlines going to take in. Somebody's going to be left out in the cold. So they had multiple bankruptcies since 2024. They had to file bankruptcy in 2024. Because remember, let me refresh your memory again. Trish K, thank you, Trish. 2024, when the man that starts with a T got in the office, all these mysterious crashes, mysterious things was going on. Planes was just falling out the sky, wasn't it? Hey, Luna Bell. People was scared. I was scared. I'm still scared to fly. I'm still afraid. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Luna Bell. I'm still afraid. I'm only going to fly if I need to go somewhere. Like I really need to go somewhere. Then I'll fly. Otherwise, nah, I'm good. Right? So, they had multiple bankruptcies since the man that starts with the T got in the office. They've been going downhill. Rising fuel prices tied to global conflicts put a nail in their coffin. Inflation, high operating costs since the man that starts with a T got in office. Everything is all alleged. Okay? Hey, Andrea. Everything's all alleged. I'm just kicking the facts. All right? Because the man, and we're going to go over, we got so much to talk about today. I can only talk about so many things. I could go for 12 hours. Right? Because we got to talk about the Puma that did was at the White House dinner. Did y'all hear that he never shot nothing now? Who heard about that? Now they're saying that the alleged Puma never pumed everything. All the puming came from the officers. So somebody sent him in there to start stuff and do a disarray. And then they lied to us and said that he pumed and they returned fire. All that's a lie. But we're going to go into that next. There's so much to talk about. My mind is jumping from here to there, y'all. But we're going to go over there next. We're going to go over there. We got to go to that next. Because then we got to talk about Ashlee Jenae. And then we got to talk about D4VD's crazy little behind. The crazy little YN. These YNs, they are built different. They are built different. Remember, the YNs of today, I don't know if you're putting a connection or not, and not for nothing. When y'all say, oh, these YNs is out here, they real weird. Remember, what happened in 1980? 1980 was the C era. I don't want to say the word over here because TikTok don't like it. But the C to the R to the A to the C, K, a lot of those babies is growing up now into YNs. Okay? The C babies is growing up into the YNs. That's why they off the chain. What's up, Kalila? So everybody come on in. We're talking about Spirit Airlines closing. How many people knew that Spirit Airlines closed today? What's up now? What's up, Kalila? How many people knew that Spirit Airlines closed today? How many people knew it? What's up, France? Hey! How you doing, France? Yeah, so we're talking about Spirit Airlines closing. Then we're gonna jump to Ashlee Jenae. Then we're gonna jump to a lot of stuff. We're gonna just jump around because there's so much going on. My brain is spinning. What's up, Spooky? So everybody that's joining us, you can watch me back on the Y to the Tubesy now, Face to the Booksies, Twitchy, Xy, all platforms right across the board. I don't stream on Instagram because this music executive looked at my live one time when I was loading the clips up for my live, and he said I was an activist. And I'm not an activist. So I said, okay, let me not put my live streams on my Instagram and let me leave that all music because y'all ain't going to be out here calling me stuff that I'm not. I don't want to be an activist in these days of lies. It's useless, right? What's up, Manifest? Thank you so much for the 19 roses. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's useless to be an activist now. It is useless, So I don't want to be no activist. So, I don't live stream on the I to the Jeezy for that reason, but I'm on everything else. Okay? My Face to the Booksies is I am Miss Knockout. Everything is Miss Knockout. And you can watch everything back in full. So what's up, Spooky? Thank you. Hey, Chiquita, thank you for the donut. So they had multiple bankruptcies, Spirit Airlines, since 2024. Okay, and like I said, their problem started when the man that starts with a T got in office and all these planes were falling from the sky and just falling out of nowhere and nobody knew why, right? And people were scared to fly. And like I said, I know I was. What's up, Charlene? I know I was scared to fly. The helly? I was scared to fly. I was like, I'm only gonna go somewhere. What's up, DJ Jones? I said, I'm only gonna go somewhere when when I need to go somewhere. Otherwise, honey, right? So the problem started back when the man that starts with the T got in office and the planes were falling out the sky. When people are scared to fly, that means they don't make money. What's up, Blueprint? Thank you for the 9 rosettes. People don't make, airlines don't make money when people are scared to fly. Mr. Musty wanted to take over the air control with Starlink. That didn't happen. I believe that's why they was doing all this disruption so that they can say the current person who has the current track with the air control, they need to get out of here because they're making all these planes crash. I believe that they were sabotaging them. So that's where their troubles start. And it all went downhill from there. They had to claim bankruptcy. And then the nail in the head is the rising fuel prices. You got to, just like you got to put gas in your car, a plane got to put gas in their doggone tank to fly too. And just like your prices are high, these planes, fuel, jet engine fuel is high too. You see, Delta, American, and all the rest of the airlines can afford it because they ain't having money trouble like Spirit. But if you having money trouble already, and then you got, it's just like you having money trouble already, and now you got to go get gas for work. And you already having money trouble, and now you got to buy gas. You got to choose on whether you want to have dinner or you want to have gas. Which one you want? Messing with the man that starts with a T is where we have all these problems. We have all these problems with Biden, Obama. Spirit Airlines was running with no problem when Biden was in office. But now all of a sudden there's a problem, right? But this thing that starts with T don't do nothing, and he don't want nobody talking about him doing nothing. Like he's the perfect angel. You wait till I get to that White House Pum story. It's going to gagify you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to that next with that doggone press conference where the man is stuttering and stammering when they're asking him. So we're hearing that the man didn't actually shoot anything.
A new follower.
Thank you for the follow, Daddy. Daddy Dida, Mr. Ladies Lover.
A new follower.
Thank you for the follow. Let's see what your name is. Thank you for the follow, Eric Molina. Thank you so much for the follow. And all my newbie boobies that's just joining us, make sure you follow Miss Knockout, all right? So you can get the notifications. Click the bell also and hit the 2 notification bells for the posts and for the live, all right? Thank you so much for the follow, you guys. Hi, welcome to the Miss Knockout community. So, rising fuel costs put the nail in Spirit Airlines coffin. Now, inflation and high operating costs still got to pay all their workers. They still got to refund people money, right? They got to refund all that money, all right? Heavy competition from bigger airlines copying. Excuse me, got something stuck in my throat.
Welcome and thanks for the follow.
Thank you. Copying, right? Their low
Shooter was
prices.
linked to Yusha Vance.
Who's Yusha Vance? Luna Bell, who is Yusha Vance? Who's Yusha Vance? Is they related to JD Vance? Is they related to JD Vance? Because that's the only Vance that I know. Who's your Vance? Oh,
J.D. Vance's wife.
Oh, J.D. Vance even probably would. Look, allegedly. J.D. Vance would, not for nothing, J.D. Vance be sitting there, and anytime he's sitting around Mr. T, he looks like he can't stand his guts, don't he? J.D. Vance look like he low-key can't stand him. Because, he's around him all the time. He gets to see all the antics that he's doing. Y'all got to go watch that video that Jimmy Kimmel put up, boy. It is, y'all going to, go to the bathroom first. That's all I'm going to say. Go get your pamper, because it is so funny. I said, Jimmy Kimmel don't give a F about losing his job. He said, yo, you can threaten me all you want. Jimmy Kimmel went in with that doggone video skit about, and the guy looked just like him. They had him from the back. At the end, they had who seen the video? We had a bucket of chicken, right? And it's an ad for an imaginary medication called Resign, but it's spelled R-Y-Z-I-N-E. So at the end of the commercial, it's like a fake medication called Resign. Hey, on my journey, what's up with you? How are you? Right? Y'all gotta watch that video. I would play it. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna take a chance. I would take a chance, y'all. Because y'all gotta see this video, man. Y'all gotta see this video. I'm gonna take a chance to play it. Wait, hold on. Let's see if I can find it first. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so no, we want to let's see. Okay, wait. Hold on. Let's see if I can find a video, yo. If I have to restart, y'all come back now. I don't think they're gonna do nothing. They don't say nothing wrong in the video, right? Ain't nothing going on wrong in the video, but it's just a funny video. Okay, so Jimmy Kimmel.
Who designed a wheelchair stop? I saw a video about it over the past week.
Let's see. Let's see, Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, let's see if I can find it. I don't know. Do we got it on this page? John Wick. Okay, Beautiful Tantrum. Taco Tuesday. Wow, he got a lot of stuff up here about him. Okay, let's see. Dang, I can't find it, y'all. I watched it on I to the Jeezy, right? I watched it on they got Mr. T with, they caught him wearing a pamper. But we ain't gonna go into that story because I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, hold on. Let me see if they put it on YouTube. Let's see. Trump. Okay, let's see. Because I know I seen it on Y to the Tuesday. Okay, hold on. We can't show it. We probably won't be able to show it on Y to the Tuesday. We got to be careful. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can't find it. It's not on there. All right. Well, if I
think I saw it.
If I find it, y'all go look it up. Y'all look up Jimmy Kimmel skit. Look up Jimmy Kimmel skit on Trump, because I had it. I watched it on, I think, I to the Jeezy, right? And by now, what's up, Boom? Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Boom. By now, right? They probably have backlash going on about that video, because when I tell you he goes in, he goes in. Okay, let me see. Resign. Let's see if that's the spelling. I don't know. Let's see. Hinge. No. All right. So yeah, if I find the video, I'll play it for you the next time. But it's not, it should be on Y to the Tuesday, but I already know again. Okay. So that was a day ago, right? And no. All right. If I find it, I'll play it the next time. I have to go look at my I to the GZ and my phone is on run. So thank you, Boom. So right now we're talking about Spirit Airlines closing as of today. All right. How many people said that they knew about Spirit Airline closing? Yes or no? All right. So, they're saying if you had a Spirit flight, don't go to the airport. Refunds are being processed, especially if you paid by card. Other airlines like American, thank you, Boom, and United and Frontier
Heard about it today.
are stepping in to help stranded
I heard about it.
passengers. So remember, you still got people traveling. You heard about it, right? Yeah. You still got people traveling. To me, I didn't see them exactly shutting down, coming. I knew that they had money trouble. But I didn't know they was going to shut down like that. Did you? Right? And being that they shut down like that, it left passengers stranded. So the other airlines, thank you, Patty, are stepping in to scoop up these stranded people. Yeah, that was quick, right? Well, Spirit Airlines been around for a minute, though. Spirit Airlines been around for a minute. Let's see. They've been around for 30 years. So it ain't been that much of a minute, Slay. They've been around for 30 years, Spirit Airlines. But the nucleus of all our problems begin and end with that man whose name starts with a T. That was their demise. Since he got in office, it was all downhill from them. And
Guess who?
They can't afford gas prices. Boom, they got to close. If you can't afford to gas up your planes, then the planes can't fly. Hello? So now, I'm willing to bet that the airlines ain't got nobody to compete with. Now the airlines' prices are going to go back up. It's a spiraling effect. So being that Spirit closed is going to make the airlines say, hey, we ain't got no competition no more. All right, well, we going to put our prices back up.
I think it's by design.
By design? You think so, Luna Bell? It is a mess. Everything's a mess. Right? So they're saying if you got tickets or you're supposed to fly from the 2nd on to, whenever, okay, you're going to get your money back. Other airlines are stepping in to make sure people get home or book other flights. The problem is how many business
I don't talk no more.
I don't talk no more. You don't talk no more? Why you don't talk no more, Chiquita? Why you say you don't talk no more? It's going to be almost in a spike to travel, which that is what they want. Right, that's what they want. They always got a plan. Just like they sent that man in there and they said he pum, and now we finding out that he ain't pum. They didn't pum. He didn't pum nothing. All right? So Spirit Airlines is closed. You can look at all the sad things that the workers are putting on there.
I thought I wasn't on her page.
I thought I wasn't on your page. Oh, you thought you wasn't on my page? No, you hear, Chiquita. I hear every word you're saying. Yeah, you hear. So yeah, Spirit Airlines is closing. Now more people gotta be finding jobs. Right? Let's see how many employees.
Okay.
How many employees did Spirit Airlines have? So now look at how many employees got to find new jobs, as if now we got millions of other people looking for jobs that don't got jobs to begin with, right? What's up, Kim Bush? So 2024, they had about 11,900 employees. And then in 2025, it dropped to 2,400 to 9,600 employees, because the man that started the T started shaking stuff up and firing people and firing DEI and people that's running the control towers and the air traffic control men. People were getting fired left and right. How you going to run a company with a short staff? Right? 2026 shut down about 17,000, including contractors and a full network staff. Right? So now all these people got to find jobs. All these people got to find jobs, y'all. And it's sad. So let's move right on over to the White House Puman, right? Let's move over to the White House Puman, in which it's a turn of events.
17 KPPL, I heard.
That are very interesting. 17K people got to find jobs.
Work.
Right? Now, they got a lot of remote jobs, y'all.
Solution comes from thin air. I don't think the powers that be care anymore.
Right? The power of you got to take your own life into your hands, y'all. I told y'all got to create a stream of income that you don't got to go outside for, right? Because the world could shut down any minute. So now, let's go to the Pumer. Hold on. Why is it just there? Let's go. Okay, hold on. So I want to go into, okay, here it is. So they're saying that the Puma never Pum. Okay? So now let's get into this. So everything's all alleged in Miss Knockout's live.
It must be an election.
Oh, yeah, they're knocking on the door, right? Well, November's coming up. They better get to knocking. So let's get into it, y'all. So now they're saying, okay, let's start, like, in case, right? Hold on, in case you don't know, all right? There was a Puman.
Their second visit.
At the White House dinner at the Hilton Hotel. And after the alleged Puman, in which they apprehended the suspect, and they had all these things going on, the only thing that they could talk about was that ballroom. That's why they didn't even hardly talk about the Puma. They say, yeah, we got him in custody, but we need the ballroom. The ballroom is what we need, see? And they said it's because of you creators and bloggers and media calling him horrible names that made him come and do what he did. We need that ballroom.
Ballroom? Yeah, right.
We need that ballroom. He could come out of the house and go right into the ballroom. It's dangerous. We can't go to it, see? And now it turns out that the Puma might not never Pum. And I want you to watch how they stuttering and stammering in this press conference. Take a drink. Yes, Aileen. Thank you, Aileen.
You stage. Ballroom top priority.
That's right. All right, so let's get into it. So we're going to go through this clip, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay? Because this is it was suspect for me from the jump. The whole thing was suspect from the jump for me. right? Was it suspect
I
for you
didn't
from the
hear
top?
that. See, I get all my hot topics from you.
Yeah, see? All right, so let's see. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so it might be a little
Battery
commercial.
70%.
Everybody come on in. Thank you so much, Slick. Thank you.
Connect. Battery 70%.
All right, everybody, keep tapifying, keep sharifying. Everybody come on. Come on in. Join
It's
the
a
super
huge
fans if you can.
128 gigabytes of storage. It's a beast
So
for
let's
gaming.
get into it, y'all. Hold
The
on.
official story of the shooter that the shooter may not have been a shooter at all. I will explain. I want to be clear about what we know, what's still investigated, and separate that.
That shooter
Now
wasn't
let's start
anywhere
with the
near T.
primary
I know that.
sort of bullet point, which is the shooter ran past security and fired a bunch of rounds before being stopped alive by Secret Service and police. That's the official story we started with. Over the last couple of days, a very different possibility has emerged. And I have to tell you, from the beginning, I found it sort of strange that if the shooter really
Sucker
fired
just
5 or
wanted it to
6
be a
rounds,
BLK man.
that he would be caught alive, that he wouldn't be
Really?
killed,
Oh.
especially when, by the standards that our law enforcement is expected to abide by, it would be completely legitimate in the eyes of the law to shoot dead a suspect that has gotten 5 or 6 rounds off, especially in that chaotic situation. I found it weird.
So now I said the same
Lead
thing.
force.
I said somewhere in the real world, especially if you look like this, they're gonna pum you right away. So why did somebody? I said to myself, why did somebody that pum 5 rounds anywhere in the circumference of the man that starts with a T not get a pum in his body?
And he was a scientist.
Because this is when they supposed to use excessive force. And he was it's all coming out. Boom. It's all coming out. It was strange to me. It's like, why y'all ain't putting the pum on him? You want to pum us every chance you get. So why he ran? And then I think wasn't he black? What was his nationality, y'all? In the first picture, he looked Caucasian. And in the second picture, he looked like he was black.
And boom, like a 808 intern.
Right? I believe it. I believe it,
What's
Bory.
next?
Because they want that ballroom. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's people that's supposed to be running stuff, lying that now you can't trust none of them. I ain't trusting them
Like
before.
that attempt on his life.
I Ben wasn't trusting them, but now a lot of people are seeing with their own eyes that you can't trust nobody. None of them. None of them. It's just the worst of the evils. All of them are corrupt. Why do you think they call them politicians?
Staged.
Why do you think people say, oh, you should be a politician? People say, oh, you need to be a politician. And they've been saying that for years. Why do you think they say that? Because they a bunch of liars.
Had a smirk on his face.
Had a smirk on his face. He want that ballroom. They shut that ballroom down. Congress said, you ain't taking no money building no $400 million ballroom with
Yes,
the
ma'am.
taxpayers' money. So they went
Vulnerable his college
allegedly-
education is extensive. Look up his education.
Yeah. Allegedly,
Bunch of liars.
I think that they staged this so that they could do what they did. See? Oh, we need the ballroom. See, we's in danger. We's in stranger danger. And we need the
Miss
ballroom.
Knockout.
Hey, what's up? Thank you, Deshaun. Right? Stranger danger. We need that ballroom. He don't need no ballroom. I wish they would take him and send him to Iran so he can. Mr. T, why don't you go to Iran and address and go talk and hang out with the troops over there in Iran? We'll pay for you a ticket. Not on Spirit, because you helped close that down. So we got to get you an airline on another flight. We all chip in and get you a doggone plane ticket, a one-way ticket over there to Iran. Okay?
Yes, we will go by. Boom like the 800 will help one way.
All right, let's continue to listen, y'all.
He
Let's
was
listen.
trying to own half of Spirit.
It now appears as though
Yeah,
the shooter
exactly.
may have fired one round.
See, I didn't really get into that, but he was trying to own. Boom is right. He was trying to jumping back to the Spirit thing a minute because I skipped that a little bit. I mentioned it, but I skipped it. He was trying to get a deal with Spirit and his homies to own half of Spirit, but it fell through. He wanted to get his hands on the airline. He already got his hands on TikTok. His homies own half the U.S. side of TikTok.
Bushes.
Everything he puts his hands near, on, or around turns to caca. All right? Let's listen, because was the Puma? Let's listen.
Or maybe even 0 rounds, and would have been a potential shooter had he gotten close to Donald Trump, but not an actual shooter as was described. Todd Blanche was asked about this, the Attorney General, and he was asked, have you been able to determine whether the gunman fired any shots? And Blanche says, well, that is something we are still looking at. He is unable to say definitively that the shooter shot at all.
Have you been able to determine whether the gunman fired shots? If so, how many shots he fired, and who exactly, whose bullet hit the agent?
We want to get that right. So we're still looking at that. It appears, and I don't want to overstate because we are still looking at this, that there were five shots that law enforcement fired.
Law enforcement fired.
We have all the evidence is being examined very carefully and expeditiously, and we'll know more soon. We do believe that as the complaint lays out, that the suspect, that the defendant fired it out of his shotgun, and we know that happened. But as far as getting into exacting ballistics, I'm not going to do that today because it's still being looked at and finalized.
Now, one of the fascinating things is that while
You're not going to do that today because you don't have that. They found no shell casings from any other but the officers' The only shell
Shotgun,
casings
and
that
no one saw that.
right. The only shell casings that they found was from the officers. Catch that, T. Let's listen.
he kind of throws in there, oh yeah, we do know that the gunman did fire a shot, I guess. We are also hearing that they haven't found the bullet casings for any rounds fired by the shooter. And it was brushed off as, it's crazy. You don't always find that. Kind of a key piece of forensic evidence. First, really quick, a word from our sponsor. A lot of people fall into the same pattern every year for Mother's Day. Flowers, maybe brunch, maybe a gift.
Okay, let's skip you.
Travel like we are right now, I add pictures of the girls from my phone and they show
Okay, let's see. That's a long commercial.
Pacman. Terms and conditions apply. The link is in the description. Now back to the video.
Here is one more clip of Todd Blanche talking about this.
I don't have anything further to talk about with the ballistics that are still being analyzed. And I said it yesterday, and every law enforcement member who is speaking on this issue is saying the same thing as they should, which is that this is an ongoing investigation with really, really smart experts trying to understand what happened in that shooting and where the bullets went and ended up and where the bullets came from. And once that is at a place where we can definitively say, to the extent we can definitively say, we will let you know.
It is possible, ladies and gentlemen, that the shooter fired no shots, that law enforcement fired 5 or 6 shots, and that the Secret Service officer that was struck by a bullet might have been struck by friendly fire. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. When I heard that the shooter had fired rounds in a lobby on a different floor than Trump was at that moment, that also didn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, I said to myself, what is the possible explanation? Why would the shooter discharge 5 rounds when he's on a different floor from Trump in the lobby? And the only explanation I could come up with at the time was, listen, maybe the shooter realized he wasn't going to get anywhere near Donald Trump and decided in desperation, I'm not going to allow this to be for nothing. I'm going to start firing indiscriminately in the lobby. But it was weird. I had to sort of come up with an.
So I'm not gonna let this go waste. I'm gonna still throw my life away, right? Even though the man that starts with the T is on a whole nother floor, all the way in the
He
back.
didn't know what floor he was on.
Well, you know, when you go to a
He has too
venue,
much education to do that.
right? He got a lot of education, right? Kim, if he didn't know what floor he was on, he could. As a lot of people could ask, "Oh, what floor is that vent on?" I mean, I'm sure it's easy to find out. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he probably knew what floor he was on, because loose lips sink ships. Oh, you was joking. Loose lips sink ships. They all telling what floor he's on, Kim. Kim said, I was joking. You too much, Kim. You too much, girl. Right? So
They sent in the news. He was scoping it out before the event.
he was scoping it out before the event. Yeah. Let's listen.
Explanation for that. We are now learning the shooter may not have fired any rounds at all, which actually makes a lot more sense because he got nowhere near his target, Donald Trump. He wasn't in the room. He wasn't even on the same floor. Now, prosecutors, again, that they're still sticking on this. We believe the shooter fired at least 1 round instead of 5 or 6. It is now a completely different situation, at least potentially, completely different. And it may have been friendly fire. Specifically, a Secret Service officer shot, who then drew his weapon and fired multiple times, may have been shot by another officer.
Right.
And this goes back to this entire, the best defense is good guys with guns. And it's all better, and it's all clearer, and it's all more organized, and everybody is safer. And it appears as though the injury that took place may have been the result of friendly fire from good guys with guns.
Right.
Now, everybody is saying we don't yet totally know, but it is a dramatic change from the original story.
Okay.
And to be frank, this explains a lot more than the original story, given the growing perception of incompetence and these breakdowns within the Secret Service. It almost makes more sense that there could have been confusion and officers firing at each other, police and Secret Service misidentifying one another. That makes more sense in a way than the shooter deciding to randomly fire in a lobby nowhere near the President of the United States. If the real story here is confusion and friendly fire, that is a different kind of failure than the one we were first told about. There were failures here regardless. And this leads us now to a broader conversation about Secret Service.
Right.
No more wars. Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu should have never started this war in Iran. And they...
Okay.
Meet Drew Warshaw. Got affordable homes built. Fought to get immigrants their driver's licenses. Drew's been up all night digging through the numbers.
Our money's being wasted. The New York pension fund is massive, but it's being spent on handouts to corporations.
Everybody keep tapifying, keep sharifying. One thing about it is, what's done in the dark always comes to the light, y'all.
Controllers should invest
What's done in the dark always comes to the light.
Making your life better.
Drew Warshaw. Up all
Right? I don't care if it's Ashlee's case, David's
Things
case.
are getting even more suspicious. Some additional stunning red flags have surfaced in connection with the alleged incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner this weekend, where it's now alleged a 31-year-old individual from California named Cole Allen was involved in a potential shooting that was allegedly thwarted with respect to Donald Trump and Trump's cabinet members.
No matter what,
I was
it all
reviewing
comes
the
out
court
so
docket
true.
to see some of the updates, and I found some stunning developments, like the magistrate judge is already warning the Trump regime DOJ about possible contempt sanctions. You have Cole Allen's lawyers saying he's being deprived of his ability to consult with lawyers.
Oh,
That
see?
the Trump DOJ
See?
and Trump federal government is preventing him from contacting his own counsel.
See?
I found some filings that
They set
show
him up,
that
allegedly.
the lawyers for Cole Allen are
So
demanding.
why you think that they don't want him talking to the lawyers? Why do you think that they don't want him talking to the lawyers? They want to silence that man. some kind of way. They probably, I believe that they set him
Splinter
up.
is causing a lot of concern in that.
Okay, causing a They you know they depriving him because they want us to suppress him and shut him up because they don't want the real story to get out. Let's listen.
Immediately some exculpatory evidence based on statements that they say that Attorney General Todd Blanche is making publicly that appear to be inconsistent with what is seen on the surveillance footage. And of course, we have the Washington Post analysis where they brought in a lot of forensic analysts who do forensic audio analysis, forensic video analysis. And this Washington Post report says that they don't believe there was any indication that Cole Allen was involved in actually firing his weapon at all, or to the extent his weapon was discharged, it was not his weapon that ultimately hit one of these Secret Service agents. It was most likely friendly fire. But then late last night, NBC claimed to have an exclusive from so-called sources within the government that said they now actually believe that it was Cole Allen's shotgun that was involved in hitting one of these Secret Service agents, which is odd that they wouldn't come out and say that right away, because the ballistics from a shot.
We didn't finish the other video. We're going to go back to it. I don't think we finished the other video. So we're going to go back to it. But we're going to listen to this first because this is very interesting.
Gun versus a handgun would be pretty easy to decipher. You don't have to be a Second Amendment enthusiast to know the different type of ballistics between a shotgun and a handgun. Let's just go through this one by one. Now, of course, in all federal criminal prosecutions, the prosecution needs to turn over what's called Brady material. That's exculpatory evidence. That's part of the obligations in any prosecution. You turn over Brady material, exculpatory information that you may have. But what was startling that I found on the docket regarding Cole Allen is that the magistrate judge is already basically threatening the Trump regime with sanctions if they don't comply with Brady. Clearly, this magistrate judge is aware that the Trump regime's MO, their modus operandi, is they file criminal charges and then often don't turn over exculpatory evidence, which has frequently led to cases being dismissed. So take a look at this minute order from the magistrate judge.
Who feels right now the way this is going? Who feels like this case of this guy might be released? I just get a feeling that because they're doing all this underlying stuff, not letting him talk to his lawyers, because he gonna at one point or another, you're gonna have to talk. What case in America is where they don't allow you to have a lawyer? Even if you don't have a lawyer, they appoint you a lawyer, and God forbid they appoint you a lawyer, Mr. Cole. You don't want the lawyer that they give to you. You don't want that lawyer that they appoint to you, honey. They're going to get you somebody that works for them. I hope he got money to get his own lawyer. They should do him like they're doing Luigi. Set up a GoFundMe and pay for his lawyer bills. It's all planned and stay. That's right, Bori. That's right. They need to set up a GoFundMe for him and pay his lawyers, pay his bills so he can get a good lawyer so we can hear what really happened. Because if they assign him a lawyer, then a lawyer is probably going to be work from the man that starts with a T. Let's listen.
Minute order as to Cole Thomas Allen as required by Rule 5F. The United States is ordered to produce all exculpatory evidence to the defendant pursuant to Brady versus Maryland and its progeny. Not doing so in a timely manner may result in sanctions, including exclusion of evidence, adverse jury instructions, dismissal of charges, and contempt proceedings. And that's signed by the federal magistrate judge. Now, that's just a basic restatement of law But I don't see why that would need to be posted like that, because it's obviously an obligation by the federal government. But this magistrate judge knows that this DOJ hides the ball over and over again. Then you take a look at this docket and you find that Cole Allen's lawyer says he's being deprived of the ability to consult with them without being monitored.
Okay, so he do got a lawyer, but they're blocking him from talking to his lawyer. Because they know once...
Bori underscore in your dreams completely agree.
Yeah, we completely agree with Bori. It's definitely, everything's all alleged. I believe this is all staged. Once again, so they could get that ballroom, because you know that man that starts with a T gets everything he wants. I want a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken on his desk right away. I need a ballroom. Okay, let's make it happen. By no means, every means necessary. They know once he talks to his lawyer that he's going to tell his lawyer what the F happened. And it's going to be on like popcorn. Ain't it?
Ahead of a major detention hearing, which is taking place today.
He's way out
Emergency
of control,
motion to
way out
permit
of control.
contact legal visit. Cole Thomas Allen, through undersigned counsel, respectfully requests this honorable court order the Department of Corrections at the D.C. jail and its staff to permit counsel to counsel under the Sixth and folks. It is a constitutional right he has to meet with his lawyers. So what?
So the man that starts with a T does not respect anything in the Constitution. He don't give a F about that Constitution. That's why he's not letting him speak to the lawyers. It's by law that you have a right. I don't care what you did. You could come out here and pum everybody on earth. You still entitled to consult with your
Whole
lawyer.
network is out of control.
Out of control. What a summer this is going to be. What a summer. What a summer. I'm telling y'all better get y'all some remote jobs going or a side hustle stream of income, because I'm telling you, you don't know when we're going to be on lockdown again. And forget the COVID to the vid. With him, it'll be something else. Oh, we can't go outside. Then what? One phone call. Yeah, what happened to one? That's right, Pam. Pam, you want the money, Pam. What about that one phone call? Right? Get ready to leave the country. I ain't going to say I'm going to do all that now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the grass ain't greener on the other side, Bori. As bad as it is over here. We just got to get rid of him. Don't worry, November is coming. November is coming, and we got to talk about that, because they sending all kinds of rules and people. I heard allegedly they're going to send ICE to the polls to distract people and deter people from voting. You got to bring your paperwork to say you a citizen. They going to do it. New York, we ain't got to worry about it, because New York, they look out for us. Our new mayor, the governor, Letitia James, and all of them, they can't stand the ground that he walks on. They ain't listening to nothing he got to say for the poll. Yeah, we just talked about that, Pam. I just did a whole presentation on that, Pam.
Try and take away these okay rights again.
Anybody that came in late, you could watch the playback on my Y to the Tubesy. Okay, Miss Knockout TV. Okay, Facebook, Twitchy, Xy. I'm on all. You can watch it back on all platforms. Same name. Thankful for Plan B. Yeah. So let's listen, y'all. Let's listen.
Why is it that the Trump regime that now is constantly talking about golden ballrooms after the alleged incident, ending No Kings protests, trying to push forward their legislative agenda of hate and voter suppression, using this incident as a way to say, well, this probably inspired James Comey. So while they're pushing that narrative as the regime...
So they saying that they're doing all of this, right? I believe, a theory, because November's coming, okay? The chairs can switch. He knows he's going to lose. He's doing everything to change the vote, suppress the vote. You know, I'm telling you, this is all in the... And mark my words, He gonna lose. He gonna lose just like he lost Virginia. They thought that they was gonna win Virginia.
Totally.
They gonna lose Virginia because the maggots are getting thinner and thinner. When I used to talk about the man that started the tea, they used to flood my doggone live right here and put chicken, watermelon, monkeys, all kinds of stuff. Now they're nowhere to be found. Ain't nobody following behind him no more. If you got any sense. It was one girl a while back, and she was a supporter too, that she said, oh, you're accusing the president, and then she left. And I'm like, if you're still following that, then we don't need to be friends anyway. Like, you don't need to be, all support ain't good support. You following that thing, I don't know. Okay, it was all part, it was a setup on Saturday night. Right? Let's listen.
Team is pushing that propaganda. They are preventing Cole Allen from meeting with his lawyer as required by the Sixth Amendment. What are you scared of? What do you have to hide? We're all entitled to legal counsel in criminal cases under the Sixth Amendment, and Cole Allen has opted to be represented by the federal public defender. And I might add, the public defender has been quite aggressive. This is the argument that's filed by the public defender. Of all the rights that an accused person has, the right to be represented by counsel is by far the most pervasive, for it affects his ability to assert any other right. If no actual assistance for the accused defense is provided, then the constitutional guarantee has been violated. In addition, it is well established that an accused does not enjoy the effective aid of counsel if he is denied the right of private consultation with him. Despite the guarantees of the Sixth Amendment, Trump's Department of Correction staff have refused Mr. Allen the opportunity to communicate with counsel in a way that protects the confidentiality owed to him.
Let me tell you something. At some point, he's going to have to talk, or somebody's going to have to talk for him. It's no way, right? It's no way Trump goes mute. Massive bankruptcy file. Wow, it's just stuff. What's up, Luna? Thank you, Luna. Thank you for the necklace. I'm gonna add it to my chains, girl. Thank you, Luna Bell. And so every time I'm glancing over like this, every time I look over like this, y'all, it's something else coming down the pipeline about the T regime. And I really don't want to talk about him.
So much going on.
If I don't really want to talk about him, but I'm forced to talk about him because I feel I got an obligation to you, the people, to let you know the truth. I got an obligation. I don't even want to talk about this fool. We all know he's corrupt. We all know he's full of caca. We all know that it's just all lies, a house of lies. I don't even want to talk about him. I want to talk about other stuff. But I feel like an obligation to the people that I got to let y'all know what's going on, right? So we're forced to talk about him. It's something coming down. It's like 10 things came down the pipeline about him as I'm talking to you. I want a quiet day. Look what just came down the pipeline. Mr. T goes mute. Massive bankruptcy file. Who has a bankruptcy? Not him again. Ain't this his 100th bankruptcy? Do they have a limit of bankruptcies you get? How many bankruptcies can you get? Do they have limits? Because he done got 1 million of them. Let's listen, yo. Let's listen.
On April 28th, 2026, undersigned counsel attempted to meet with Mr. Allen ahead of the detention hearing set for April 30th, 2026. Counsel initially were forced to wait for nearly an hour for unknown reasons, despite them being told they would be able to meet with Mr. Allen in a private attorney room, as is routine and required for confidential and privileged communications. The department.
So now this is routine for any criminal and anybody. I don't care if you the Unabomberfication. Even the Unabomberficationer had a meeting with his counsel. So he does have a lawyer. They won't let him meet with his lawyer. They won't let him talk to, because they know once he talks to his lawyers, then they're going to be able to piece stuff together again. They're going to start piecing stuff together. That's why they want to, sir, You're going to have to let him talk to his lawyers. What the hell? Let's listen. Wait a minute. 70 people in the live. Everybody blessify Miss Knockout so she won't be brokified, so I can keep coming here bringing you the news just like you do the power beggars. They're sitting there. I watched the girl with a lion behind her and the other girl had fire behind her. They was getting 30,000 in points. And they was doing absolutely nothing. Who y'all talking about today? Well, we were talking about Spirit Airlines closing. Thank you so much, Luna Bell. Thank you. Everybody matched Luna Bell's vibe. Luna Bell been showing love all whole live, and we got 70 people in here. She been showing love to the whole live the whole time. All right? Everybody match her energy because we in here doing something. It's not like I'm just in here showing y'all a ceiling fan. Thank you, Slay Braids. And thank you to everybody that's doing what they can. All right? I appreciate all the taps. Put some comments in the comment box. Put some hashtags in the comment box. Everybody shareify. Okay, everybody tapify. And let's get it. All right, so let's continue. Let's listen.
Of correction staff informed counsel that they would have to meet in what is essentially a public location. Specifically, Mr. Allen was forced to sit inside of a locked cage in full 5-point restraints and speak over a phone, of which there is only one, to be able to confer with counsel. Counsel were forced to sit in an open lobby area with jail staff and other attorneys standing nearby who could overhear the entirety of counsel's side of the conversation. When that it was administrative and at the direction of the warden. Counsel asked if the requirement was related to anything that Mr. Allen did or said while in the Department of Correction custody, and Captain Haney replied in the negative. Counsel's inability to have a privileged and confidential conversation with Mr. Allen is an obvious and grave violation of his rights under the Sixth Amendment. Moreover, members of the defense team were required to share one handheld device with low-quality audio that requires elevated voices to hear.
So I want to see what the judge is going to do about this. The judge needs to force them to let this man talk to his lawyers. Because we want to hear what the F really happened. So we want him to talk to his lawyers too. Why are you stopping them from talking to his lawyers? That's because you know he's going to tell us what's really hood. That's why you stopping them from talking to the lawyers. But it's going to come out anyway. Let's continue to listen.
The meeting with Mr. Allen falls well short of what the Constitution guarantees of every defendant. The absurdity of an initial attorney-client meeting in front of correctional staff and unrelated attorneys had no stated purpose and was characterized as merely administrative. As the court is aware, the D.C. jail has housed many high-profile defendants. Potential Reiner counsel experienced on April 28th. In other words, this has never happened before, ever, with lots of high-profile criminal defendants throughout many, many years. This is Washington, D.C. People have been arrested for a lot of very, very serious things. General Counsel Towns and Deputy General Counsel Shannon are both out of office. Now they're saying the Department of Correction lawyers are not even there. So now the lawyers for Cole Allen rush to the court and they demand an emergency order. And the court grants it. Upon consideration of Mr. Allen's motion, it is hereby ordered that the motion is granted, and it is further ordered that the D.C. Department of Corrections shall permit Mr. Allen and his defense team to have contact, unrestricted legal visits during the pendency of this case. And it's signed by the magistrate judge. The Trump regime already lost a major motion in this case that they are claiming is a slam dunk. Could you believe that? Also, Cole Allen.
So see, everybody tapify, got a couple commercials. When it comes to our so the judge, hey, thank you, Tiffany, thank you. Look at that, that's cute. That was cute. So the judge already made a motion. You better let this man talk to his counsel. Do you think that the man that starts with a T gonna listen? Because you know he don't follow no rules. When y'all gonna start doing stuff to him when he don't follow rules? That's what I want to know.
engaging two websites.
Why is he the only one that gets away with not following rules?
Integrate with Stripe for payment with one click. Manage website powered by your imagination.
He gotta let that man speak to his counsel now. He already know what time it is. Once he speaks to his counsel, we gonna know what's going on. That y'all wanted that ballroom, allegedly. He might say, "Oh, they wanted the ballroom, so they set me up." He might say that junk. Now all of a sudden, he's a Uda that didn't ooh. You a Uda that didn't ooh. Now we find out that he might not have ooh. They didn't find no shell casings that came from his purification.
Cole Allen's lawyer says that Acting Attorney General Blanche's
terrible.
public
They all need to be accountable.
suggests the government may have exculpatory evidence about whether Allen fired his shotgun and, if he did, struck a Secret Service officer. So this is a letter that was submitted yesterday by Cole Allen's lawyer at the Federal Public Defender's Office. They're doing a really good job already, and they're raising major red flags in this court filing. This is a letter right here to the United States Attorney's Office in the District of Columbia. And here's what Cole Allen's lawyers say. We were pleased to hear your pronouncement that you intend to take your Brady obligations seriously in Mr. Allen's case. We trust that you agree that your responsibilities include the timely disclosure of potentially exculpatory facts. As you know, we have received no discovery and have been provided no information about the government's theory of the case, other than that which is contained in the complaint and your detention memorandum. Because you make factual assertions that appear to be either contradicted or at least somewhat undermined by statements by law enforcement, we make the following requests and ask you to provide answers prior to the detention hearing. Thus, pursuant to Brady versus Maryland and other similar.
So they got a hearing coming up, and his counsel got to speak. So how could the counsel speak on his behalf when he can't speak to the doggone suspect? Ain't that a blip? This is the world we live in, y'all. We can't make this stuff up. Let's listen.
Cases, the Due Process Act and the local rules, we request the following. We understand that Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has made public statements as a representative of the prosecution. We noticed that you did not describe the shotgun ammunition in your detention memorandum. We request that you provide a description of the ammunition because some of Acting Attorney General Blanche's statements indicate that the recovered ballistic evidence is inconsistent with aspects of the government's theory, evidence collected by the government, and or statements made by witnesses.
I found myself, hey, Coco, thank you so much, Coco. I'm finding myself asking myself, right? Did he actually have weapons on him? I don't even believe he had weapons on him now. Did he have weapons on him? Did he have a pew and a knife fabrication? Because I don't believe nothing that y'all said. I've been not believing nothing they say. I don't believe nothing that they say. Okay? But now even more. So they're saying that provide the ammunition information. The ammunition information is inconsistent, because they don't have any ammunition on him discharging because there was none, allegedly. Thank you, Tiffany. Thanks. Allegedly. Right? Let's listen. Wow.
Entitled to this information prior to the detention hearing. Please provide the following information as it relates to the alleged shooting of the VG. Any information in law enforcement's possession that Mr. Allen did not shoot VG. Any information in law enforcement's possession that Mr. Allen did not.
Okay, everybody that's coming in, we're talking about the White House punification, all right? And we're finding out, hey, T, baby, we're finding out that the OODA might not have actually OODed anything. It was all OODing from the federal side, from the officers. And another thing we're finding out is that the man that starts with the T in his regime won't let the OODer or the, I can't even call him the OODer no more, because now he didn't OOD, right? So the man who tried to get in the White House dinner, I'm going to call him that, because if he didn't OOD, then why are we calling him the OODer? right? I think it was a ski. Oh, yeah? So it's like we're finding out that they wouldn't let him speak to his counsel. Why you don't want him to speak to his lawyer? Because you know he's going to tell him stuff. And he's going to tell him what really happened. So the man that starts with a T in his regime is preventing Cole Allen from talking to his lawyer, and he got a case coming up. They got to do his preliminary hearing. How could they do the preliminary hearing where he didn't consult? It's his right to consult with counsel. But you know, the man that starts with T don't follow no laws. So now they put in a motion who tried to, I'm going to call him Cole Allen because I don't want to call him the Ooter because he didn't oot. Okay? So Cole Allen got a case coming up and he got to talk to his lawyers. So now the lawyer...
White House Correspondents' Dinner at Hilton, D.C.
Yes. So now the lawyer put a motion into the judge to say, hey, I ain't talked to my client. Thank you, Tiffany. I ain't talked to my client. I told her, and he won the motion. So now let's see if that man that starts with a T is going to still defy the law. Because guess what? In the courts that I know, when you don't follow proper protocol, and it's almost happening in Luigi's case. What's up, man? Hey, thank you for the orange heart. It's happening in the Luigi case. In the Luigi case, they didn't do a check on him correctly. They didn't check his backpack correctly. We watched that tape with him getting arrested and them checking it over and over in court when I went to court for Luigi. And if you don't do stuff correctly in the case can be thrown out. So if they don't let this man talk to his lawyers, and which is his right, he could get his case dismissed. Because all they wanted is that damn ballroom anyway. See? Oh, look, we're in danger. Stranger danger. We need the ballroom. That's all they want anyway. They probably don't care if he get released. He just got caught up. And they know it. That's why they won't let him talk to his lawyers. Because they know that he's going to tell it. Now, I'm still looking up the relation that he got with, put the names that he's related. What's J.D. Vance's wife's name? Put the names down there again, y'all. What y'all told me to look up who he's related to. Put the names down there again. Let's see. Relation to Cole Allen to J.D. Vance's wife. They said that he's connected with. So they said that the man Cole Allen, because I'm used to saying the Ooter because that's what they said at first, but now I'm not going to call him the Ooter if he never ooted. Okay, so
Chavance ABC News.
Let's see. Are they connected? Are they connected? Okay, let's go to my notes. Okay, so let's listen. Let's finish listening, y'all.
Fire a shot or in the general direction of VG. Any video, including any video enhanced by law enforcement that reveals footage that is inconsistent with the government's theory that Mr. Allen fired the shotgun. Any video, including any video enhanced by law enforcement that reveals footage that is inconsistent with the government's theory that VG struck by ammunition from the shotgun. Any statements by any witness that are inconsistent with the government's theory that Mr. Allen fired the shotgun. Any statements by any witnesses that are inconsistent with the government's theory that VD was struck by ammunition from that shotgun. Any physical evidence recovered from the scene, including cartridge casings and spent projectiles recovered inconsistent with the government's theory that Allen fired the shotgun. Any physical evidence recovered from the scene, including cartridge casings and spent projectiles recovered inconsistent with the government's theory that VG was struck by ammunition from that shotgun. Any evidence recovered from VG, including equipment or clothing, that is inconsistent with the government's theory that Mr. Allen fired the shotgun. Any evidence recovered from VG, including equipment or clothing, that is inconsistent with the government's theory that VG was struck by ammunition from the shotgun.
One thing about the courts, right? One thing about the courts is they deal with receipts. The courts deal with receipts. Fundraiser 2017. Oh, okay. All right. So Luna Bell said that the order is, the guy called Allen is connected to J.D. Vance's wife for a fundraiser in 2017. See? So they know. So in other words, J.D. Vance and his wife know who this person is. Why would a person who has a scientist background and an education shoot five rounds into a place where, on a floor where the Mr. T ain't even on, and ruin his life, all that education and everything going for him? I'm telling you, in the end, we're going to find out that he was set up and they ain't going to be no more good. But in their minds, they're going to be good because they don't, even when they call, they remind me of scam artists, right? Well, for scam artists, even though you catch the scam artist red-handed scamming, the scam artist always still acts like they ain't scamming, ain't it? Who had experience with a scam artist before? When you bust the stage, right? When you bust the scam artists, they continue on like you didn't even catch them out there. That's what scam artists are doing and trained to do. Let's listen.
All ballistic information thus far collected and analyzed that do not squarely support the government's theory of the case. We also request any information as to whom the government is alleging were the targets of this incident. In the detention memorandum, you reference, quote, high-ranking men of the U.S. government as the defendant's intended victims and the significant roles they play. Please identify the individuals that the government believes were the, quote, targets and intended victims. Specifically, please advise whether the government has ruled out Acting Attorney General Blanche and U.S. Attorney Pirro as targets and how the government has reached that conclusion. Please also provide any statements allegedly made by Mr. Allen. So you have Attorney General Blanche. When he was asked about, do you have the ballistics report? His response was, it would not surprise me if it turns out that our Secret Service agent was shot by the individual. It would not surprise me if, how do you not know that already? You don't know the difference between a shotgun ballistic and the residue there too, and a handgun? Different caliber, different weapons, a lot of different circumstances. Should be probably one of the most basic things, but looks like they're lying. Here, play this clip.
So I understand that there is shocker leaks around that. I'm not going to get ahead of the work of the law enforcement. It would not surprise me if it turns out that that our Secret Service agent was shot by the individual who's currently been charged with that crime. But that is something that would be wildly inappropriate for me to comment on beyond saying just that. Just because when we know something, I'm sure that we will let the folks know. But I just want to get that right.
More from Bench here. This was the day before that, saying he has nothing to add on the ballistics test. Let's play this clip.
I want to ask you a quick question about, there's a number of other different types of conduct Comey has been accused of over the past. One of them is abuse of FISA warrants. I wanted to ask if there's anything that we could talk about today in regards to that, but on a separate matter, any more about the ballistics forensic analysis with the shooting that happened over the weekend.
So on the first question, no, there's nothing else to report about any investigations or anything involving Mr. Comey except the indictment that was returned today by the grand jury. I don't have anything further to talk about with the ballistics that are still being analyzed. And I said it yesterday, and every law enforcement member who is speaking on this issue is saying the same thing as they should, which is that this is an ongoing investigation with really, really smart experts trying to understand what happened in that shooting and where the bullets went and ended up and where the bullets came from. And once that is at a place where we can definitively say, to the extent we can definitively say, we will let you know.
And Evan Hill and others at the Washington Post reconstructed, or they looked at the...
So when you first came out, you were sure about, oh, this happened, that happened, had the woman, and now you like, you're stammering and stuttering. We don't believe you. We need more people. We don't believe you.
Better image of the video surveillance. And here's what Hill writes. This is from the Washington Post. A Secret Service officer fired 4 times at Cole Allen and in the direction of other security personnel as he charged a security checkpoint. A post-review of surveillance footage has found there was no indication on the footage that Allen fired his weapon. A Secret Service officer fired 4 times, but no indication from the footage that Allen fired his weapon. So what is even going down right now? So after
I want you to the tubesy, you will see that the F to the IZ put up of the suspect running through, and he did have like what looks like a shotty, okay? But you never seen him fire it. Now they could get him on having the shotty alone. For just having the shotty, right? I don't know if he had a permit to carry, but you definitely shouldn't have been pulling it out for no reason. So they could get him on that. But y'all said that he pum. But there's no indication. There's no shell droppings. There's nothing. Nothing. No murk. Nothing that shows that this man pum, ooty, anything. Let's listen.
Story breaks. Then there's a article from the NBC News shortly thereafter that goes, Secret Service officer was hit by gunfire from suspect at White House.
Because he's a plant.
Sources say.
And I believe
investigators have determined the officer wasn't struck by friendly fire from another member of law.
I believe that he's a plant. Even from the get-go, I knew something was fishy in this story. That's why they won't let him talk to his lawyers. It's a reason why they won't let him talk to his lawyers, because he's going to tell everything what happened, and they don't want that. They do not want that.
Enforcement, according to 3 law enforcement officials familiar with the case. Now, the problem here is the Trump regime lies about literally everything. So you have that filing that was made today. You have the court's order regarding potential contempt. You have the Washington Post analysis. They used both audio forensic analysis, some top people, and reconstructed the video. And Washington Post with some top people, like the kind of people who, when I was a litigator, I would hire as an expert. When Washington Post went to those people, they're saying Cole Allen wasn't the shooter. Or didn't shoot, rather. And then on the other hand, you now have the Trump regime leaking to NBC. So, folks, we don't know what's happening. We know the Trump regime lies about everything. We know they used this alleged incident to push ballrooms, to push taxpayer funding ballrooms, to push banning No Kings protests, to push all of this propaganda. So you be the judge, but I'm just going to go through the facts. Fact. That's what we do here on the Midas Report. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, help us get to 7 million subscribers.
Okay.
By hitting subscribe.
So let's go
back. You may
back.
think you're subscribed, Liam.
Let's go back to this other thing because we never finished. Okay. So let's go back to this. All right, hold on.
Get free slice sauce.
Everybody tap a 5, share a 5.
Or Parmesan stuff.
Then we're going to get to Ashlee Jenae. Ashlee Jenae is being laid to rest on May 5th in Jersey. Her body is back home. And they're saying all kinds of stuff about this case. And it's getting like, almost like, are we ever going to find out what really happened? Are we ever gonna find out
The
what really happened to
official
Ashlee?
story of the shooter at the White House
Okay,
Correspondents' Dinner seems to have just
Okay, hold on. Let's get back to where we was at, y'all. Let's get back to where we was at. I think we might have finished it. Did we finish it? We might have finished
explanation I could come up with at the time was, listen, maybe the shooter realized he wasn't going to get anywhere near Donald Trump and decided in desperation, I'm not going to allow this to be for nothing. I'm going to start firing indiscriminately in the lobby. But it was weird. I had to sort of come up with an explanation for that. We are now learning the shooter may not have fired any rounds at all, which actually makes a lot more sense.
Okay, we listened to everything. So that's the gist of it. We're going to keep watching this case. All right. We are going to keep watching this case. And now we're going to get into the thing. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in this case. Right. First of all, we don't know what happened. Okay. First of all, we don't know what happened. All right. That man, Joe McCann, is really quiet and silent. Okay. So I don't know if he's still being held in question. Okay. Also, okay, creative, sexy. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to check it out. All right. So let's get into this Ashlee Jenae update. Okay. Her body is home. Right. Now, what man proposes to a woman? Right. But this will be awkward. It'll be awkward. Right. Hold on. I'm trying to get to these clips. Okay. Here it is. What man proposes to his fiance? The fiance know what happened, right? But she's getting ready. The woman you've been with since 2024. Yeah, you know, some might say it's a short amount of time, but it's like 2 years. You propose to the woman. I'm boggled why he proposed to her with all this stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff that boggles me with this case, right? But would you not, what fiance does not, and I've never heard of this. A fiance gets engaged with his fiance, gives her a ring, right? And some people say, reports say the ring was found somewhere else and had vacation on it. And some people saying is we don't know what's true and what's not true in this case. Because the fact that it's in a foreign land makes it harder for us to decipher the truth. LA Lisa is here. What's up, LA Lisa? Right? But what fiance does not attend his own fiance's funeral unless he's detained? But I feel like even if he isn't detained, I feel like it'll be an awkward situation because you're going to be at that funeral and everybody's going to be looking at you like, Because if I was at that funeral, if you showed up, I'll doggone surely be looking at you like, what you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Is you going to talk and tell us what happened now? You home. Ain't no case going on. What happened? Is it a case going on? Because we ain't hear about a case. What happened, boy? An old boy going to have to talk at some point. Thank you, Lisa. All right. So we're going to listen to Queen Sheba, Umi, Tisa Tells, Messy. Everybody did a good job keeping this case alive to make an attempt on finding out what went on with this girl. We making an attempt to find out because they are keeping it from us. And it's hard for us to find out because the U.S. do not have a good relationship with Tanzania. And Joe still ain't talking wherever he's at. Where's Joe at? Is he still in there being questioned? Because that's a long questioning. You've been getting questioned for 2 weeks, sir. No, you hiding. Joe is hiding because Joe, you got to go to work at some point. Are you working from your laptop? Who's working with you? Because if I was working with you, I'd be like, Joe, I don't know if we should be doing business anymore. It's like, you a little scandalous over there, my dude. You a little scandal. Okay. So let's listen. We got Queen Sheba on deck. All right. Now let's listen to this. Hold on, you. Let's listen. All right. It's on deck. Everybody keep tapifying. Everybody tapifying. Everybody sharify. Everybody put hashtags in the comments. All right. And let's listen. Let's listen. Got a little version.
I do better when you do better.
All right, come on, y'all. Keep tapifying, keep sharifying. If you're on the Y to the Tuesday,
one bag, infinite
make sure
possibilities.
that you give me a
Kate
thumbs up. All right. Everybody, come on in. All right, let's get into it, y'all.
I could have way better than an Equinox. Way better. Didn't even know the next car, even though I didn't get the Equinox, I would get something way better than that. But I was focused on the Equinox because, hell, I was coming out of a Malibu. So you couldn't tell me that this Equinox wasn't better than that damn Malibu that I had. That's all I'm saying. Joe was an Equinox. She was coming out of a Malibu. That's why he was the best thing that ever happened.
So she's talking about, let me pull you up to speed because I skipped forward because I want to get to the hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. So she's explaining a parody, right, of how she had a Malibu, and then she seen the Equinox, and she thought the best thing smoking was the Equinox because she was so used to the Malibu, and she's comparing that to Ashlee, like Joe was her Equinox, which she could have got better, but she thought that was it. You know what I'm saying? But let's listen. Let's hear her out, though. Let's hear her out. Hold on, y'all.
People say, you want an Equinox? Baby, consider what I was coming out of, a Malibu. Yes, I wanted that Equinox. Best thing. I'm touching leather. See, oh, this go back like that. And now, what? I can turn this on and it's going to take me. Oh, this is nice. Best thing that I ever touched. It would cost me a lot. I was going to have to get a second job and do what I wanted. I was willing to pay the price for it.
LA Lisa.
At such a young age, not doing anything. Not even experiencing any other car lines, any other models. And I remember the guy at other cars. I said, I don't want to. I want that car. It took him weeks to convince me to go look. I didn't want to. I had already fallen in love because I had a first experience that was way better than the Malibu. And nothing else can measure up to that. So I can very well see how Joe McCann could be the best thing that she's ever laid eyes on. The best. I mean, he's whisking her all around the world. And keep in mind, if you keep in mind what was going on in Joe's life.
So let me make a correction right there because I did my research too, right? And I think I reported on this before. So some of those trips, yes, she did take with Joe McCann. Some of them. But a lot of those trips and places and pictures that you see on her Instagram is her modeling jobs. And that's what I found out in my research. So a lot of people like Sheba with this. She does a good job. I just want to clarify that. A lot of those pictures going on to the airplane, she works for that bouquet company. She promotes for them. She promotes for a clothing line. She promotes for a wig company. You know what I'm saying? She was a model. She was in music videos. So a lot of those things that you see on her Instagram, which people are calling her 304, and she was all around her, and she was not all around her, and those were her modeling jobs. So yes, she traveled with Joe, but a lot of those things that you see on her Instagram that looks like she's living the high life, the soft life, is her modeling jobs, her modeling work that she posted online. So people they are making accusations on who this girl was. You know what I'm saying? They're making accusations. They seen all these fabulous people and they say, oh, she must be a 304, getting flown all around and to Dubai and all these places, allegedly getting the poop on them. No, the girl was a model. She was a model, and she had a lot of accounts, like an Instagram model. They have Fashion Nova. They wear the Fashion Novas. They show the clothes, the Fashion Nova clothes. They get paid. She was doing the same thing. So a lot of those pictures you see on her Instagram are from her modeling jobs, as per my research. So yeah, Joe was whisking her around, but all of those ain't on her Instagram. It was from her job. Let's listen.
During that time, he had just struck gold. 2 years after entering into the crypto industry, he struck gold. But he also started to fall from grace real fast, because about 90 days after being with Ashlee, he started to experience financial problems.
See?
He was losing money, not at the rate that he lost it while he was in Zanzibar, but he was losing money. Now, if you go back, I think either it's The Mind of Lilith or Sloan Bella. Both of them did a reading on Ashlee Jenae, and both of them were really close in what they said. One of them said, Ashlee's friends and family don't know this because Ashlee hid it, but they believe that Joe may have started to become really aggressive with Ashlee earlier on in the relationship.
What's up, Chloe?
So now
we're talking
that I know
Ashlee
that he
Jenae
started
now.
losing money about 90 days into his courtship of going public with her, not behind the scenes. See, we really don't know when they hooked up. We just know when they went public. And the only reason we know when they went public is because she posted him. He never posted her. He was showing up with Ashlee Jenae at crypto events, business conferences, galas, everything. Whatever she represented in that moment was a big deal.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. You said Sloan said it. Thank you so much. So when I did the math, I said,
Chrissy.
damn, she's spot on.
Chrissy.
Because if you go back and track his history of his highs and lows, and a lot of that content creators don't like that technical stuff, right? Because that's not entertaining. You know, oh yeah, he lost 100 million. And you see, a lot of us tend to hang on to sensationalized content, because the other stuff can be a bit boring.
Thank you so
but
much.
the other
Everybody
stuff will fill in the
heart.
gaps where you kind of paint a bigger picture of what was happening in real time. So Sloan, you were spot on, because about 90, oh my gosh, hold on.
Dog got loose. So remember I played Sloan Bella? Remember I played Sloan Bella in here for y'all? And Sloan Bella said a lot of things, like he's involved with the dark web. You know, he has involved in some kind of game where they wanted him to.
Sorry about that.
To unalive her because he owed money.
I said, damn, she's spot on.
What's up, Shima?
Sorry about that. Thank you for your patience.
And here's another thing. Here's another theory I got. I'm gonna let her go on. Here's another theory. I like Sheba. Sheba's real good. Sheba, Umi, and Fumi, Sheba, Tisa Tells, All of them did a good job. Shout out to Lovely T. I hope you get better soon, Lovely T. Lovely T is having a medical procedure done. She has certain underlying illnesses, and she's back in the hospital, but she'll be back shortly. You know, she got the voiceovers on channel. Shout out to Lovely T. I hope you have a speedy recovery. But all of you girls did a good job covering it and keeping this case alive, right? And we played the Sloan Bella psychic revelations, and I'm telling you, Sloan Bella is on the money. A year before Diddy went through anything that he's going through, Sloan Bella laid it all out about what's going to happen to Diddy. She did a whole post about Diddy. One day I'm going to play it back. I'm going to play it back for y'all so y'all can see. And this is a year before anything happened to Diddy. So that's why I go right to her when she does a reading. I think she just did a reading on the shooter. We might double back to that. If I'm not mistaken, I think she did a reading on the shooter. But I'm going to check that. But we got so much going. Oh, gosh. We could be here to 12 midnight. But we ain't going to be here to 12 midnight, y'all. But we can, because there's a lot going on. Okay, let's listen.
He started to have problems. So when you go back through those pictures, and I talked about the picture on the aircraft, and y'all are saying, oh my gosh, she never noticed him looking at her like that, like she was a piece of meat. She knew what he was looking at. That was a horny, predatory man. We're on trips. And you all over the world. Have to give up something in exchange for that. You give, even if you're married, shit, your husband, you go on vacation, your husband's giving first class, he's gonna joke about, ooh, I'm gonna get lucky tonight, in the most beautiful way. Now imagine a monster and what a monster is expecting. Can we really talk here today? Can we talk here today and completely be adults? So, you know, husbands expect a little get down on it. Yeah, I'm paying for this. I'm taking my wife all around the country. We're getting away for a little bit of what? Couple time. We've left the kids behind. We've left the world behind. This is going to be very, very romantic. Yes, give her all of the champagne she wants. Actually, the more, the better.
The more, the better.
The more, the better. I want her to have a good time. But see, the look that you all saw with Joe was predatory, freaky, nasty.
Everything's all alleged.
30 Shades of Black, 30 Shades of vile, disgusting, diabolicalness. That's different. That's somebody that's waiting to devour you. So I could easily see him having mood swings about money and then being pissed off about losing money that you thought you had when you're riding first class in business first, not even first class, business first, premier seats to Dubai, and you're clocking on your phone that you just lost millions of dollars. Now you're mad about having to pretend to be something that you're not when your entire world is crumbling all around you. So Sloan was spot on when she said there may have been a little bit of aggressiveness, if not DV, domestic violence, earlier on in the relationship. But because Ashlee was sold to the idea of the equinox, because she's coming out of a Malibu, she hid it. She became enamored in the possibilities. Oh my God. In her 20s, premier access, private clubs, crypto galas, conferences, courtside seats. And if you go back and really start to look at the behavior, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. If you start to see how Ashlee looked so innocent and precious before she got with him, she had a girl-like look. Even though she was in her 20s, she still looked like a girl. He upped the ante. He changed her clothes.
She still looked like a girl.
You remember when Julia Roberts, a woman,
right,
was a streetwalker, and she had fallen asleep in Richard Gere's hotel, and he pulled that wig off of her and exposed that beautiful, beautiful red hair, right? And wonder why in the world would she cover up such enamored beauty? It was the opposite of what Joe did. Richter encouraged her to be her best with the natural from Ashlee. He needed her up a little bit. It's a change over the course of the 12 months public with Joe. A different look. Go back and look. At first, she had a little swoop, her little bun, her little ponytail. You can still just really on. He didn't want that. He wanted to give her a sex appeal that was undeniable.
The girl was
that was completely undeniable.
Was 31, so she's gonna look older, ain't she? The girl was 31, right? She wasn't a YN. You know, she was a young lady.
Song, I wanna sex you up. Oh, night. Make you feel good. That's what you saw on that airplane. Now, one thing we've known, or we do understand or come to know, in situations like this with powerful men, rich men, a lot of them don't sleep. Black, white, fat, skinny, tall. A lot of them don't sleep because they become so enamored with their own sexual desires. They stay up and they have a little bit of assistance to be able to stay up and go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them don't like or prefer not to be in the United States. So they're whisking these girls around in countries and places where men can pay to do things to women that women will never utter out loud. Under the guise of being an Instagram model. We know what happens in Dubai with some of these women, black women, women of color. See, I don't see white girls posting photos of going to Dubai, on a plane to Dubai, but we know these Arabs pay high dollar to do nasty, disgusting things to black women, women of color.
Somehow I don't think Ashlee was
and
doing
if you don't
that.
know what I'm talking about.
I feel like they paint a picture of Ashlee that they don't know is true. I don't feel like Ashlee herself were going to do that. I think that she was modeling and people got it twisted and effed up and was just looking at her and just automatically thinking she's a 304. Even though everybody get their price, and you know, a lot of celebrities and stars, they you know, I ain't gonna mention no names, but a couple of reality show stars got called out on the shows. So you go over to Dubai, or you do this, you do that. I'm not saying that it don't happen, right? But I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of people are speculating about her, and I feel like she was just a model who posted her pictures on Instagram, and everybody said, oh, she flying to Dubai to get the caca on her. I don't feel like she was doing that. I feel like she was making her own money, right? You don't make that much money being in videos no more. You know, this isn't the 90s, right? But those UGCs and all those brands that you could work for and wig companies and wearing Fashion Nova clothes, you can, if you get about 5-6 brands to work with on rotation, it could turn into a nice little income, right? I think that Joe was just the icing on the cake. So she could save her money, right? And spend his money, spend other people. It's OPM. Even though you got your money, all women do that. A lot of women do that. Why am I spend my money when we could be out spending your money? Let's spend your money. I want to save my money. Shoot. Let's listen.
Just get on the internet, and it's very it's very tempting to a girl that's coming out of a Malibu. You get what I'm saying? It's very tempting to a girl that's coming out of a Malibu. So when you're coming out of a Malibu and you experience an equinox and you think it's the best thing that happened to you, and then what if that equinox is introducing you to other men, but you feel safe because he's there with you, assuring that nothing else is going to happen.
What's up, all my people on Kixie? We're talking about Ashlee Jenae case, the girl who went over to Tanzania and was unalive and don't nobody know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And will we ever find out what happened with her? We don't know. But that's what we're talking about in here today. Welcome in, everybody. All right. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Get you a subscription. Subscribe, thumbs up on Y to the Tubesy, on the Cloxies. Y'all know what to do. Hashtags in the comments. If you could join Superfan, join a Discord. All right. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. All right. See, we got two viewers on Kixie. All right. So let's continue to listen.
Ashlee bit off more than she can chew.
I agree with that.
And I know we talked about Joe having business interest over there in Zanzibar, and we talked about him being a partner in the ambulance business and personal and private transportation. Come to find out that is true. He transported her to the hospital. Listen to this. In his own private van, according to my source.
See?
He transported her to the urgent care in his own private van. Hold on. Pull up a seat. Let's go.
Wow. Pull up a seat.
There's truth to the fact that him being in partnership over there with a transportation company. Because I thought, why in the hell would he have a van at the resort? Hold on, it gets more interesting. Not only that, he's
what's up,
in
Sammy?
partnership.
How are you? Hey, Sammy, have you been on the E-app? Have you been on the E-app, Sammy? I meant, well, you was on the E-app. I moved over to the Rainbow. Rainbow, the E-app is like, I don't know. I might go back over there, but it's like the first 5 minutes if nobody don't do nothing. No, you not really. Yeah, I have. Look, the first 5 minutes, if people ain't dropping stuff in your live and dropping money, comments, and this and that, you don't go up in the viewership. I mean, I'm going to try it again. I'm not going to cast it out, right? But I don't know. I don't know, Semi. These new apps, I feel like they like a Ponzi scheme. They just out for you to bring new viewers over there. They set up to bring new viewers, and the people on top stay on the top, and the people on the bottom stay on the bottom. Okay, I'm just on 2 apps to post only. Yeah, I hear you. What's the 2 ones? Is it here and where? Is it on the clock? At least on the clock, they push you out. You know, sometimes they'll push a mother hubba out. You know, I ain't going to sit on the app for 4 hours and I'm still on the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's get back into it. What's up, Christine?
Let me get it. He's in partnership. Hold on. And has a piece of share or ownings with the resort.
YT, TT, and a few. Okay, cool.
He's a partner.
I gotta get your YT
at the resort.
Hey, Sammy, text me your YT. Text me your YT link or your name. I gotta get your YT. I'm on the I'm across all platforms right now. I'm on Y to the Tube Z. I'm on Kixie. I'm changing the words around because you know how the clock is, right? I'm on Y to the Tuesday. I'm on Kixie. I'm on Twitchy. I'm on Xy. I'm on Face to the Booksies. Okay, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 platforms right now, simultaneously. And I'm on Link to the Den. All right, so you can now watch my playback for my whole live, right? Today will be the whole live. Some days it won't be the whole live. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be the news, and then I'll come off and, and stay on the clock, right? But join the Discord because I got a move that I'm getting ready to do that I'm going to bring y'all all to it. And it's not for everybody. What I'm getting ready to do is not for everybody. You got to be picked to be on this app, right? But the app is going to turn me into a cartoon, and I'm going to broadcast. Yes, I got a Discord. It's in my link tree, Chiquita. I thought you was already in there. So I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want the gremlins from that doggone evil ass P app that we was on. Kalila was on there too. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay because you got to be picked to be on this app. But I want y'all to bring y'all all over so y'all can see. The app is all cartoons, and the app is from another country in Asia. It's an Asian app, and basically they picked me, and they're developing my camera. It's going to take 2 months for the design department to draw my character, right? It's going to take 2 months. Let me show you. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I could show you. That's why y'all got to join the Discord, so that when I make my debut over there, y'all could come and watch. And it's something that's different. It's something different. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I could pull up the design I started. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I think I sent it to Kalila. Let me pull up when I sent it to Kalila. So I need y'all to be in the Discord, right? So that when I launch over there, y'all could come and watch, right? And, okay, look. Let me show y'all. Wait, hold on. Let me close this. So I kind of started the design so that it's going to take them two months to design my character, right? But I kind of started my design. This is the design I started, y'all. So this will be like, hopefully but it's what they come up with ultimately, but this is what I got and I'm going to give to them, the idea that I have as a head start. And I want to put an MKO chain on the neck, right? And the streaming is all cartoons. So everybody's live you go in is a cartoon. See how the Asians are way ahead of us? They way ahead of us, y'all. They are way ahead of us, right? Y'all like it? So I designed this myself. So I'm going to give it to the design team, and hopefully they'll design something, right, that's like that, right? But I'll let y'all join the Discord so I could give y'all a link. So whenever I launch, y'all come over there and go for what you will know. But those people on that P app, I want to stay as far away from them as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just get on this app. They got to pick you. You got to audition. You got to apply. It's like a process you got to go in. You can't just press the button and go live, because they got to design a cartoon character for you, and it's an investment. I'm not going to invest in somebody that I don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let y'all know about that. It'll probably be in July sometime. I'll make my debut in July, and we'll get it popping and try something different. You know what I'm saying? The Asians are way ahead of us. Way ahead of us. But I want to invite y'all all over so that we can get it popping. All right, so let's get back into it. We're talking about Ashlee Jenae case. All right. And now they're going to get to, spoiler alert, they're going to get to, what happened? That now they're saying that they were never separated. Now they're trying to say that Ashlee and Joe was never separated. They was all in the same room. I say that we ain't going to never find out what's going on, because Joe McCann is being silent. I don't know. He's not being silenced. He's silencing himself. I feel like he's silencing himself. You know, Joe don't want to talk, because when you tell one lie, guess what? You got to take another one. You got to tell another one.
Watch this. Hold
What's
on.
up,
I believe
Grimes?
it. I
Hey,
told y'all
Grimes?
the last time I did this, when I was talking about the body being shipped. I went down a rabbit. I know they're not lying, because I went down a rabbit hole financially. And he does own partnerships and stuff, because when he divorced the first girl, she got a piece of his shares. Remember, I told you that?
And also, he's also friends with the hotel owner, and the hotel owner got these weird movies out about mushrooms and psychedelics, right? And he's into all kinds of weird stuff, like cult, and weird, just weird stuff. And him and Joe were friends. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, it's not his first rodeo going over there. He been going over there and staying at these resorts and fraternizing with the locals. Let's listen.
On my last video, I said, oh, I didn't know that. The first wife When he started to lose crypto
Uh-oh.
and companies were changing hands and they were liquidating things, she got a portion of his shares. And I ended the video. I said, listen, what would make a man like him snap? Only God knows. I'm going to tell you something, probably dealing with money. I'm not going to lose out this time like I did the last time. The only thing I can think is Ashlee said, did, or heard something she was not supposed to see. Similar to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So you think these men are in love with you until you fuck around and you find out at the last minute. And they lure you, David.
Thank you, Sammy.
D4VD lured Celeste to his home. The Uber, call the Uber for her. 8:40 p.m. April 23rd, 2025. 8:40 p.m.
Well,
She left her home to never be seen again.
We're going to get into
Then
that.
10 p.m., the Uber drops her off. An hour and a half drive. That's an expensive Uber, right? 10 p.m.
Because he wanted to make sure that Celeste got there, because Celeste was holding over his head at every turn. All right, I'm going to tell that you're effing me. All right, I'm going to tell him that you're effing me. They said that she was threatening him. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Adrena? Blackmail. What's up, Adrena Austin? Thank you for the heart me. Thank you, Sammy, for the year Austin. Blackmail. Okay, I'm going to tell. So he wanted to get her over there so he can get her out of there. Desperate. I feel like David, D4VD, right? Thank you, Sammy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Browns. Sammy, did you hear that Spirit Airline closed today? We covered that. You can watch it back on my Y to the Tubesy, Sammy. So everybody that's coming in late, you can watch my U to the Tubesy. Hey, Miss Browns. All entirely when I get off. You can watch it all back if you came late and you missed anything. All right. And we talked about LA Lisa, thank you, that they closed down. And everything revolves back to that man that starts with a T. He's the reason why they can't afford gas to put in those planes to take off. He's the reason why the business started going down when he got in office with all those planes falling out the sky, right? What's up, Cali Go-Go? And people scared to fly. Now we ain't making money. He is the reason for their downfall. Allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah, I don't fly like that too. When those planes was dropping out the sky, when the man that starts with a T got in the office and all those planes were doing this and that, and they was firing all those big aircraft controllers, talking about they was DIE, and Mr. Musty was trying to put Starlink as the air controller, and that fell through. You know what I'm saying? And the man that started with the T tried to own half of Spirit Airlines, and that fell through. They don't want nothing with his name on nothing. Ooh, they was like, we'll take the L. We'll go out of business. I don't blame them. I would go out of business before I have anything with your name on it, sir. Did y'all hear that they're trying to put him? Did y'all hear that they're putting the man that starts with the T, allegedly, his picture on your passport? If his picture is going on the passport, I don't want one. I don't know how else you're going to travel. I ain't go out of the country any day going. But they trying to put his doggone picture on the passport. The only place that picture should be going to is in the basement to scare the rats. That's the only place where that picture should be welcome. I don't want his picture on my passport. So if you don't want his picture on your passport, you better hurry up and renew your passport now. Okay? Because they talking about put his picture on it. So if you got to renew your passport, get it now. I don't think they're going to want it. I think that's what he wants. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's listen. Let's listen, y'all. Let's listen.
Dropped her off in front of his house. It's believed that he ambushed her as soon as she walked in the door.
So she's talking about D4VD right now. We're going to get to him too. There's a lot coming on with this case. Can you renew early? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody answer that. Can you renew? Let me find out for you. Let me find out for you, Taste. Yeah, because I'm getting ready to renew mine now.
10:30 p.m.
I
He's
don't want this
texting
picture
her
of
according
mine.
to court documents. Are you there? Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you there? They believe at that time she was already dead. Follow me very closely. This is a young girl. I'm talking Celeste Rivas Hernandez that was groomed by a monster who thought he loved her only to walk and be lured into her death. He stabbed her to death because she threatened to out him and his predatory behavior and expose him public to all of the horrible things that he was doing to children. The only thing I can think of that will make sense for whatever happened in that room on the evening of April 8th, 2026 is
so we're gonna get Ashlee and DVD done in two birds with one stone. I call them DVD. You know what I'm saying? He was going to be exposed by this young girl, right? And the reason why I believe her, because A, these young kids have a knack for, telling it what it is. And B, when they caught him, they found all kinds of little people pedicure stuff on his phone. They found pedicure stuff on his phone. So she was going to come out and talk about some shiznick, and he want to silence her. He's a YN. All right. We ain't going to keep using that excuse. We got YNs out here who are going in college to become a doctor. Okay? All the YNs' brains ain't fried. But Mr. DVD, you would have been better off taking the little people's charges. You probably would have been in jail for 6, 7 years, got out early 4 years. But now you got a whole murderation charge going on. You might not never get out there. At least with the little people charge, and if you would have made it out, because they don't like people that mess with little people in the jailsies. They don't like it and everybody know that you was messing with the little people, DVD. Everybody knows it. So when you get in there, it's on and popping. It's up and it's stuck. Okay? But let's listen.
Ashlee discovered some shit that was bigger than her. And she wanted no parts of that. And men like this.
I'm seeing the similarities now. I'm seeing it almost like in my head as she's talking. Look at this. So DVD, they got text messages of Celeste threatening him. All right, I'm going to tell what you're doing. I'm going to tell what you're doing with the little ones. I'm going to tell. And he said, okay, come on and get an Uber. I want to see you. And she gets in the Uber and she goes there and he ambushes her as soon as she gets in the door. Well, guess what? This man allegedly might have invited Ashlee, but invited her over there to do the same thing. They probably was already into it. There was probably already something that she knew that she could have exposed about this dude. And he just brought her to another country because look what is happening right now. We having a hard time figuring this out. If it was in the U.S., I think that we would figure out more stuff. I think that people purposely bring people to other countries so that they could do things. What's up, Tania? Let's listen.
No.
Oh, and by the way, you can
they will take
you can renew your passport anytime, even if it has years left on it. You can renew your passport. All right. Your passport to be valid for at least 6 months after your trip. Oh. Your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months after your trip. So even if your passport isn't expired, you can still be denied boarding. Oh, really? All right. Well, we getting passport 101, ain't we? All right, let's continue to listen.
Out before they allow you to mess with their money, their music careers, their whatever it is. He's already paid a big portion to the first wife. He be down. And then those men have the nerve to look at you as a piece of meat when they're the ones that are predators. See, they pick these girls on purpose because they already believe that you are below them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they prey on you, because you're below them. So here's what we have. They were never separated in that hotel, in that resort. That was a lie from the pits of hell.
Oh, shucks.
Here's the second thing. He transported her to the first hospital in his own personal van. Remember, we talked about it and disclosed those.
So she's finding out this, right, from people that she's making contact with over in Tanzania. The first thing, and then shout out to Queen Sheba, the first thing she found out is that they're saying that they were never separated. They were always in the room and had a drag down fight. And that's why room 25 called in. Now they're saying, thank you, Cindy, that he transported her to the hospital. Let's listen.
Here that he's in partnership with private healthcare and medical transportation. Number 3, he's a part owner in that resort. He owns shares in that resort. Now we know that he owns shares with many things because his first wife, got a lucrative amount of his shares in different business ventures that he does. He was in business with.
Did y'all know that he owns shares?
You don't see very much.
Did y'all know that he owns shares in that resort? Did y'all know this? Oh my G.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, what's up? What's up, y'all? What's up? Yeah, everybody's in there. Cindy. Okay, hey, Damali. Wow. We might not never find. I'm almost feeling like he brought her over there to do something to that girl because it was already brewing with whatever she knew. Just like DVD put Celeste in the Uber and got her over there so he could shut her up. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you. Me and my hubby both in there. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cindy's hubby. Hey, nice to meet ya. Welcome to the Miss Knockout Show. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling almost like, and everything's all alleged. Everything's all alleged. I'm almost feeling like Joe might have brought her over there with premeditated attempt to do what he did because he knew if he did it in a foreign country, look what's happening. We having a hard time figuring out what the heck happened, ain't we? Tanzania don't like us because the man that starts with his name that starts with a T. They openly express their disdain for America and the government after they were put on the block list. Nobody from Tanzania can enter the company. Remember when Mr. T put that block list out?
Sundiacham Pebbles Aces.
Well, Tanzania was on that block list. So they don't like Mr. T and they don't like America. So what makes you think they're going to cooperate with us? They going to cooperate with us? No. So he knew that if he brought her over there and did what he did, what he was going to do,
This one happens, hey girl.
Everything's all alleged. They knew that we would have a hard time finding out. Hell, we having a hard time finding out what's going on in our own country, let alone another country. We finding out that the White House OODA didn't even oop and put an SH on the beginning. You know how the clock is. They don't want us to say certain words. And we talked about that, everybody that came in a little later. Okay, Cindy and everybody, you can watch that back on my YouTube, the Tubesy. We talked about how now they're saying the OODA, the White House OODA, they don't have evidence that he ever OODed. We can't believe what nobody says. We can't. We surrounded by liars, y'all. We surrounded by liars. You can't trust nobody. If you can't trust your GOV, well, you got to get all your programs from.
Definitely.
You gotta like look to for certain stuff. You can't even trust them mother hubbers. The OODA didn't even They don't even have shell casings from him. They got videos of him running with his long, look like a stick to me. but they don't have any evidence that he oohed. Y'all just lying because y'all wanted that ballroom. You don't want that ballroom.
Boy, there
bed.
you go. Maybe go free. Look at Luigi.
Okay, right? And then we also, I'm giving a briefing for people who came in late. We also talked about how they won't let the White House dinner ooter talk to his lawyers. They're blocking him from talking because it's his right, as per the 6th Amendment, to talk to his counsel. Everybody is innocent to proven guilty. Everybody and every criminal, every suspect has a right to talk to their counsel. Well, the man that starts with the T and his regime are blocking him from talking to his counsel. His counsel went to the jail, and his counsel was denied speaking to him. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
Exactly, except for it.
Yeah. Well, DVD, he got a couple of twists and turns, with his case too. But let's finish with Ashlee, and let's see if we could get to DVD for a little bit. All right? Tomorrow's another day. We've been on here for how long? But we still going, though. We're still going, y'all. We ain't going nowhere. Almost 3 hours. Okay, let's listen.
Iggy Azalea. She says she got out because it's questionable business practices. Now let's really get into it. You want me to blow your mind right now?
Blow our mind.
And if I got to blow your mind right now, that means I got to admit to you that I made a mistake the other day.
Uh-oh. What?
Joe McCann is still in Zanzibar.
Oh! That's right. So there was reports saying that Joe had came home or Joe had got out, right? So why is Joe
Welcome and chat, follow, chat.
Hotels.com is where you go to choose from hundreds of thousands of hotels and earn rewards on every stay.
All right, y'all.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Come on in, everybody. Tap a fire, everybody share a fire. We're going to get back to it in a minute. Why is Joe being questioned for, thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much for the glasses. Why is Joe being questioned for 2 weeks? What criminal is in questioning for 2 weeks?
Oh, let me say it again. He's still in jail in Zanzibar.
When you go and watch those body cam videos and then they take him to the interrogation room, right? They either interrogate him and let him go home. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Or they interrogate him and they lock him up. They don't interrogate nobody for no 2 weeks. It's over 2 weeks since Joe been in there. I feel like they are hiding. He's hiding. They hiding him. That's why they got in and questioning, because they know if he comes out here, they're going to be asking him questions. They're going to be asking him questions. They don't want him to come out here. Let's listen.
I thought he had been released.
I thought he was released too.
They were going to hold him until the results of the autopsy. The police commander, what I'm being told, has figured out that he's been swindled by those white men that own that resort. And, oh, baby, it is bad. They saying he's in there pooing in the bucket like everybody else. Now, he's not in prison, but they know he did it, and they just got to figure out who's helping him to cover it up.
Oh.
So I made a mistake the other day because I thought they had let him go.
See?
Because you remember they said not until we complete the autopsy.
Not pooping in the bucket.
So when the family says we got the body, but we didn't get the autopsy, they haven't released the autopsy because they suspect and they know that he killed her. Let me give you the rundown.
Allegedly.
Here we go. So what happened was, and let me just say allegedly.
Allegedly.
This is all alleged because I was not in a room.
That's right, girl.
Number one, this is the first thing the
Correct
source
yourself.
wants us to know. Ashlee and Joe were never separated. The story about being in Villa 24, walking him to Villa 25, being 10 minutes away is a bold-faced lie. That is a lie from the pits of hell.
Let me run that back. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Listen, let's run it back.
Killed her. Let me give you the rundown. Here we go. So what happened was, and let me just say allegedly. This is all alleged because I was not in the room. Number one, this is the first thing the source wants us to know. Ashlee and Joe were never separated. The story about being in Villa 24, walking him to Villa 25, 8 to 10 minutes away is a bold-faced lie. That is a lie from the pits of hell, and it came from, watch this, the resort. It came from the resort.
See?
They were never separated. Watch this. Ashlee was dead in that room. Hold on. Here's the other thing you need to know. Joe, I'm going to say allegedly, but these are the exact words. Joe killed her without intervention. Allegedly.
Cindy Yachin.
Joe killed her. And this is how these people talk, without intervention. That means he took her life in that room. All that we call security, and we knock and separate them without intervention. Hold on, let's keep going. But remember, I kept saying, well, why are you holding him if he was in the room? That doesn't make sense to hold him as a man. But I was being very sarcastic. Because something didn't happen. We don't hold innocent people, right?
That's the candy apple.
Why is he still in jail? Watch this. Hold on, y'all. It gets worse. And this is all alleged. You got to be very careful. He wrapped up her dead body. I'm telling you word for word. He wrapped up her dead body in a sheet. And I don't understand this word because it's how they speak. And left the room in a panic to run to the hotel management. So he wrapped her up after he did it. I'm going to think probably she was naked. She was naked.
Wow.
He wrapped her up.
So Queen Sheba
here anyway
is talking to insiders and connections she made over in Tanzania, right? That's telling her what really happened. Because the hotel owner and Joe McCann was friends. Right? On here anyway. Okay? Yeah, Cindy. Thank you, everybody. Him and the hotel owner was friends, right? So what do friends do? Well, sometimes some friends, I don't know. Everybody ain't your friend, but so she's saying that they're holding him because they're trying to figure out who's helping them cover stuff up. What's done in the dark comes out to the light. Let's listen.
And he was so freaked out that he ran to the management because he's a partner. So they did set the staff. They did set the staff up to go into that room to spray the room. Listen, to spray. You remember Lady Rowe came and said, "Whoa! I've been to Zanzibar, and the staff does come in without notice to spray your room because of mosquitoes." Because we kept saying what the boy is saying, the butler, didn't make sense. Why are you going in this room and it's all dark? Because Ashlee told you to come back. Why would you go in a woman's room after you just separated her from being traumatized from a man? And as a man, you just gonna walk up in her room and it's pitch dark, she can be asleep? All of that is a lie. Lies from the pits of hell.
See?
What happened is they set up another staff. So it's more than likely we need to go with the original story. Remember when the police commander first came out and said, whoa, when the report first came out, we got to go all the way back. I'm gonna pull it up. The initial report said somebody went into that room to clean or whatever.
Right.
Well, that was the person that went in to spray for mosquitoes. They found the body, allegedly. Watch this. Let me continue, and then we'll go back and read the conflicting reports. So staff entered the room to spray. They turned on the lights and saw her there rolled up in the sheet. That person ran to management. Okay, it could have been the butler then. But the other, okay, let me just finish. That person, they didn't say the butler though. He ran to management where Joe already was, and eventually Joe and management went to the room together. So that part is true. But the part about the charger, this is what they said. No one ever talked to Ashlee about a charger.
See?
That's a lie.
It's all coming back. It's all coming out.
In those final hours. There is cameras to reveal all of this, but he says...
Now, here's the thing. Did you see what she just said? Where are these cameras? Because we know you got cameras over there with all those elite people. Hey, everybody come from North Carolina. Hey, Panna Rice from North Kakalaki. How are you? What's up? What's up, Big Will is in the building? What's up with you? So see, that I don't understand Why we just can't look at, or somebody can't just look at the cameras? Why are they hiding this camera footage? Because we know that the resorts like that, we know that you got a camera. So the camera footage will tell everything that happened. Now, of course, they don't get cameras in the room, but we could tell if they came out of the room, if they were separated, if they had a fight. Yes, he is white. He's white and she's black. The cameras probably don't go in the room, but the cameras can tell when they went in the room, when they came out the room. If what she's saying is right, allegedly they brought her out in a sheet, putting her into a car. The hospital got footage. The hospital definitely should have footage of cameras. The hospital don't got cameras. How'd she get to the hospital? Did the ambulance pick her up by herself? Did somebody? They saying that Joe brought her to the hospital now. Let's listen.
Joe is a business partner in this hotel, and it'll never see the light of the day. It was a made-up story about the charger. I knew that didn't sound right.
Made-up story.
You remember I said, why would Ashlee, first of all, we talking about a land of snakes and it's dark. Black folks don't play that. We ain't going outside. We know we the first ones killed in the scary movies. Why would Ashlee be roaming the tropics, the jungle at night looking for a charger? That don't even sound right. Because if you separated them like you say you did, then the charger, she has the primary room. All of the things that she brought her should be in that room. Now, if you said that you had put Ashlee in Villa 65, that would make more sense for her to be trying to find her way to the front desk. But that don't make no sense to me. It never has. They said that's because it's a lie.
See?
When the hotels, all that, I'm going to come back and I was giving food and that's a lie.
Wow. Look at that, y'all. Look at that.
They found Ashlee when she was dead. When they went in that room.
It doesn't
do their
make
nightly
sense.
rounds to spray for mosquitoes. And Joe had her wrapped up in there.
See?
Hold on.
That's what they
Let's continue.
She got people telling her the real
Then
story, but we don't know. We don't know what this is the real story.
No one ever talked to her about a charger.
Listen, y'all, everything is a legend in here, right? Sheba is talking to somebody over there that's giving their account, right? But we don't know it to be true because we're not there. So we got to listen to each thing and sort it out. We don't know what this is true. So now they're saying that they never left the room. They never got into a fight. They never was separated. That Joe did the dirty, violated her, and then they wrapped up in the sheet, and then he transported her to the hospital. But we don't know if that's true. Pull them cameras out. It's a reason why y'all ain't pulling out those cameras. It's a reason for that. Let's listen
to her in those final hours. There are cameras that caught all of this. That'll show you that none of that happened. But because he has a stake and shares in this resort, we're not going to
covering up
the footage. He also said,
see,
the hotel may be closing any day now because of the bad press. And also to make all of this go away. Didn't I tell y'all? Thank you, Trey.
So if that was here, the government could subpoena the footage. Look how long they kept the Cassie footage of that hotel. That footage is from what, 30, 20 years ago. They held that footage, and that's a big old hotel. Money and power can get you some things. So now they want to close the whole hotel down. They don't want nobody to find out what happened to this girl. They'll shut the whole hotel down first. So now we're learning that Joe has a stake in the hotel. He has shares in the hotel. And he's telling her, oh, no, don't release that footage. I'll pull my shares out. Don't release that footage. Now, see, if this was the U.S. would subpoena that footage. And if they got rid of it, they could subpoena the company and have them run the footage, because anybody that gets surveillance a camera is always a backup to it if it's working. So we might not never find out what happened to this girl. So Ashlee is getting put to rest on May 5th. You know, Joe ain't going to even if Joe was around and in the United States, I don't think that Joe would be going to the funeral or invited to the funeral. That would be very awkward, wouldn't it? Let's listen. We're learning a lot today.
You said a content creator with no charger. That's a lie from the pits of hell. We knew that was a lie. We knew that was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
A lie from the pits of hell. Oh, I saw her wandering around at night. She was asking for a charger out there in Africa. Child, you was a lie. And y'all say it's so bad, y'all got to come in the room and spray mosquitoes. We don't even play.
Well, they said that. See, now I'm getting confused because they said that they when they came to her door and they said, "Oh, do you need anything?" She said she need a charger, and they said, "You need anything? Oh, come back in 15 minutes." But she's saying that all of that's a lie. What's up, Anthony Carter's in the building? They're saying all that's a lie. We might not never find out what happened to this girl. We might not never find out what happened to this girl. You know how many stories doing my research on this story? Do you know how many stories I uncovered where people brought people to other countries and unalived them because the U.S. will never find out what the hell happened? And they know that, and that's why they do that. Right? Knockout, the Labor Day parade is coming up. Oh, yeah. Is that when is that? Is that May 31st? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going out here. I don't know if I'm gonna go out there with all this warification going on. Oh, in September. Oh, yeah. September, November. It's really gonna be hot around that time. Because you know the man that starts with a T, he know he's gonna lose those midterms. So it's going to be hotter than a sauna around that time. They're going to be making everything happen. Okay? Let's listen. Everybody that's just joining us, we're doing updates on the Ashlee Jenae case, her funeral, and she's being put to rest on May 5th, right, in Jersey. It's 4 hours away from me. I was going to actually go to her funeral, but it's 4 hours away. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But she's being put to rest, and it's just a sad, sad thing. Let's listen.
We don't even like mosquitoes over here in the good old US of A. And I know your mosquitoes big as hell out there, like horse flies. You lying. You're lying. You had to separate him from attacking her. And she gonna go outside and expose herself to danger. All over a charger. You're a liar. Watch this. Here we go. So they are suspecting that sooner or later, those people are about to shut this down. They are probably waiting for a big payday in order for it not to. That's regular practice here. So it seems like in order for the problem to go away, the officials are saying, you got to pay me or we're going to come in and shut it down.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Joe and the hotel are definitely in cahoots and not
so
working
remember,
with police.
I told you that Tanzania is a bribery country. Every move you make, pay me. Okay, you want these documents? Pay me. You want to see the camera footage? Pay me. Well, the hotel is holding the camera footage, so they ain't going to get to that. Anything you want the government to do over there, you got to pay them. It's a pay type of country. And people are saying Africa is all over. It's like that. Thank you, Fancy. Thank you for the orange heart. As soon as you step off the plane, you tipping people for no reason. They look at your bag, you tip them. They take the bag to the car, you tip them. You want to know where the grocery store, tip me and I'll tell you where the grocery store. Everybody's panhandling out there like a mother. Right? In Jamaica too? Christopher said in Jamaica too. See? Everybody's power begging every step of the way. Nigeria for 4. My fam came back with see, Princess said Nigeria too. Everybody's in here, 70 people in the live. Everybody blessify Miss Knockout so she won't be brokified. And I don't have to work for the man. And I could work for myself and come here and kick it with you, which I prefer. Because then I got to go get me a jobby job. And I'd rather come here and bring you the news. So everybody, we got 70 people in the room. Look, 5 left. They say, Knockout. I ain't giving you a red cent. They left. Okay? But you know, we working over here. We ain't power begging and doing battles all day. All right? Everybody, right, Slay, I said it. Then 5 people say, oh, no, not today. All right, let's listen, y'all. Let's listen.
At all.
This is Queen Sheba we're listening to. She did a good job covering this case. Let's listen.
They think they can screw around the police. So I don't know if the commander didn't get his cut or he feels like he's been thrown under the bus, but the police/government and hotel both have the same motives to cover up. But as of now, Joe is not off the hook because they're pissed off at him. He's in jail with the locals, shitting in a bucket, eating beans and bread. That's what they're saying. And at the hospital and hotel, Joe presented himself as her husband. He lied. Watch this. So all of the things, her personal items, are in his possession, being held and hidden with the hotel staff.
Oh, so they can, but still.
That's why the parents.
But let me tell you something.
I told y'all that. The open book. Thank you for.
Let me tell you something. But
you said thank you for all of your hard work.
He could hide her phone and her computer is probably at home, right? He could hide her phone all he want. The family, the mother, Ashlee's mother and Ashlee's father, you need to hire a private investigator and have the private investigator partner with the FBI to get her phone and text messages. Now, the mother got the text messages that she texted her, right? And here's another thing. Who remembers the mother saying that they got into a fight and they was put in separate rooms? So at one point, they're saying that the mother, I got to go back and watch the mother's interview again. Did the mother say that out of her own mouth? Because if the mother said that she called her, the daughter, Ashlee called her and said that they had a fight and they were separated and put in different rooms, wouldn't it be true? Because she knows her daughter's voice. Or did she text, did somebody text her and say that? Now, if somebody texted her and said that, then it might have been Joe texting, saying, oh, they put us in second rooms, we had a fight, right? But if she said it on the phone in her own voice, then how could this story be not true that they got into a fight? Which Sheba just said that whole thing is a lie. That he was in the room with her the whole time. He unalived her, wrapped her up in a white sheet, and transported her to the hospital. Oh, she called the mom. So now I'm confused. Something is spoiled in the milk. Something spoiled in the milk, y'all. Because how could she call the mother and say that they got into a fight and they were put in separate rooms, and now they're saying that that's a lie? So that means Ashlee is lying when she said that? Why would she lie about that? So now I don't know what to believe. But we're going to keep listening, though. Who heard the mother say that out her own mouth, that Ashlee called her and said that they got into a fight and were put in different rooms? Because I remember something like that. But how could she have said that if she's saying that that was all a lie? What's up, Mr. White Coffee is in the building. What's up, White Coffee? Let's continue to listen, y'all. Let's listen.
I knew he was at the hospital, and y'all kept saying, well, why would they not get the more? Sweetheart, when you go to the hospital and you're in distress,
down with the volume, everything goes down.
They gonna rip you. When my brother went into cardiac arrest, they cut off his clothes, honey, to save his life. They will cut you up out your clothes. They gonna take off everything. Watch this. What I believe is true, she was wrapped in a sheet or a blanket. She didn't have on that damn engagement ring.
You good?
He
That's
took
what's
it.
up.
He took it before they went
They
to that
do
hospital.
have, yeah.
You remember how
They got apps that could pull everything out your phone. But the mother, who is the next of kin, need to take some of that $50,000 that they got, and they never went to Tanzania. So what are you doing with that $50,000, Ashlee's mother and father? You never went to Tanzania. Now, I know she got to be buried, so I know some of it went for that. But you need to take some of that money and hire a private investigator. I know they probably got more than $50,000 now, right? I thought they said ring was in a cab. They said the ring was in the cab. See, we don't know what to believe now. Tatiana, we don't know what to believe now. They said the ring was in some car with the bloodification on it. Then the next thing you know, they say the ring was on her, that it was never missing. They had $65K. See, the mother and father needs to hire a private investigator, and they need to go through her phone and they need to go through his phone because they have probable cause. They can also take his phone and hook it up to the app. They did it in the Diddy trial, and they got everybody's conversation. We spent days upon days listening to them go back and forth in conversation. Cassie, Diddy, all the staff. They could pull it right on over there. I'd be over there if it was mine. That's right. They should. I feel like they should have went over there too. I feel like they didn't take initiative enough for me as parents. I would have been on the first, but see, also, right, you still got to get shots. You can't just jump up and go to Tanzania. You got to get shots. You got to get flights. And then when you do go over there, when they see who she is, they know what she's coming to do. You got to watch the government over there, because they might get rid of you too to stop you from talking. Maybe it's security reasons. You got to be very careful going over there. You better have a connection over there to bring you all around, because they might see, so Joe is still over there. His people is still over there. The hotel owner and him is friends. He got stock and stuff. He knows people over there. The parents don't. You get off the plane and they say, oh, they're here to investigate the Ashlee's thing. Get rid of them. And now we got 2-3 funerals to go to. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that they stayed home, right? Go to the embassy and let them know that that's smart. That's smart, Taddy. That Taddy is on it. That's right. Go right to the embassy. You got to make it to the embassy. Look, Taddy, they might have to have the embassy meet them at the plane. I would have them meet me at the flight. Because those people over there are shady, shady boots, baby. They shady, shady boots over there. So now I'm confused, right? So Sheba, and she did a good job covering this case, okay? That's like if somebody calls me, I don't know who you are. So you say, oh, I was there. I don't know if you was there or not, because I'm not over there. So now you start telling me all these stories. This happened. This didn't happen. How do I know that this is true? We don't know if anything is true. We got to listen to stuff and we got to sort it out. So Sheba's listening to accounts over there, right? But I'm already seeing holes in their story, because the simple fact alone that Ashlee called her mother and told her, oh, we had a fight. They put us in separate rooms. But you just said that the contact said that they didn't get put in separate rooms. Everything is all alleged. They didn't get put in separate rooms. That he unalived her, allegedly, and wrapped her in a sheet and transported her to the hospital in his vans, in which he has steak and stuff over there. He's part owners with the transportation bans, and he's part owners of the resorts, VIA shares. You think he did? You think you meant he, right? That's possible. That he got into it and it went too far. That's possible. But an unalivement is an unalivement, even if you do it by accident. In the USA, you still get prosecuted. Oh, you think she did? Oh, you think she did it on accident? Oh, but how? I strongly don't believe that she took a belt and hungified herself. That's a hard thing to do on your own and to come to grips with, that you're ending your whole, people fight to stay alive all day. People get into cancel battles and they fight to stay alive. Right? Where did that come from? That he was always there. They didn't move. That's what they're saying now, Kim Bush. That's what we listening to, Kim. They getting new accounts from the people that was around in the resort. They're getting new testimonies from people. Sheba. I don't know. I'm going to say for the record, I don't know if anything is true. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. But let's listen.
It was funny in that police report where it says Ashlee was wearing her ring. Now, why you make it a point to say that? He took it.
He took his ring back.
I think she was naked when she was transported to that hospital. That means the ring did not come in with her. And plus, even if the ring came in with her, watch this.
He might have took that ring back allegedly to sell that ring because his company ain't doing good. So he probably said to himself, why am I going to let this ring go to waste in the casket with her when I could take the ring and sell it? So I could kind of believe that part because he wasn't doing good. Charlene is back. He wasn't doing good. So he might have took that ring back and sold it. You never know. Let's listen.
The way the hospitals work in emergencies, we got an emergency, right? We're going to administer life
Thank you for the 118K likes, y'all.
You're going to strip that patient of everything because they can't have that on. And who do you give it to? The loved one, the doting and the loving husband. He has everything.
He ain't no husband. Ain't no doggone husband.
Even if she had the ring on.
I ain't calling that thing the husband. He was the fiancé. Oh, what happened? We just got kicked out of it. Tanzania is working their magic on us, y'all. Everybody come on in. Let's tap a fire. Let's share a fire. Welcome to the Miss Knockout Show. All right. Oh, what happened? Oh, we got knocked all the way back out. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let's get back to the get back. I got too much stuff on this desk. Stuff is falling all over the place. Everybody tap a fire. Everybody share a fire. We got 62 people in the room. Yeah, they do. Tanzania is doing voodoo on us, y'all. Okay? They say, you ain't going to find out nothing, Miss Knockout. We ain't going to find out nothing. Okay, let's see. All right.
Had the ring on, which I don't think he did. She did. Even if she had the ring on, they gave it to him, you all.
Who believes that he took his ring back? Who believes that? I could believe it. I could definitely believe that he took a ring back. That even if it was like, not real, that's a couple of $100. You could play a couple of $100 for a Mazanite. Okay? You ain't peeing on my leg and telling me it's right? Welcome in. Thank you, Deshaun. Okay, Taddy said, yeah, me. Yep. I could see him taking his ring back, especially if it was real. Let's listen.
The ring don't go to the morgue. Do you understand me? So sometimes when I see y'all commenting on social media, why would the morgue not return the ring? Mm-hmm. The ring never made it to the morgue. All of that shit is handed off to loved ones before the body is ever, unless she came in dead. Watch this. Thank you. In a plaid bag with the drawstrings.
I
That's
like
what
what
they
she
do to
said.
your
Watch
clothes, and they
this.
put it in a cubby hole. They sure do. Now, some more of the sophisticated and modernized hospitals have a cubby hole with a combination thing. Well, they'll lock it up for you. They gave it. Thank you. They told me, oh, he went to the morgue.
I believe they gave it to him.
Personal items don't make it to the morgue. They refrigerate you, put a sheet over you. There is nothing. Watch this. So now the police and the government are pissed off because they're being cut out, and they feel like they're being set up for failure, and they didn't get their due diligence. But he is in jail, allegedly. Let me just keep saying all of this is allegedly. So he presented himself to the hospital as her husband.
Oh.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. And let me keep saying allegedly because I was not there. Joe took her to
now, if you present now, Tanzania might be different, right? Tanzania might be different. What's up, Nasha? Thank you. Welcome. Hey, Nasha. But in America, if you go to the hospital and claim somebody's belongings, do you have to prove that you're the husband? Like, do you have to show, like, cause that you're the husband? Or could you just say you're the husband and collect the items? Who knows this? Yes or no? I'm going to look it up. Let's listen.
In one of his personal vans, but she was already dead.
Thank you, Naja.
That's what they said. She was wrapped up. They said the paperwork he obtained was forged or faked to look like she was alive.
Oh.
You remember we had the cardiac nurses? That don't make no sense.
Who is knowing all this and telling her all this, right? Because they would have to be with what's going on every step of the way. But on the flip side, you can find out anything because loose lips sink ships. So everybody's talking, the people in the mall, the people in the hospital. But it's the HIPAA laws. I don't know what kind of HIPAA laws they got in Africa. Do they got HIPAA laws in Africa? I don't know. I don't know what they got HIPAA laws in Africa. Right? But who is following this all the way that they know every detail like this? That's why I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. I like receipts, black and white. But I'm hearing you can't even trust black and white over there. You heard what she just said, that he forged documents to make her look like she was still alive when she got to the hospital. Let's listen.
They came up here and said that's not true. Why would they not do A, B, and C if she was alive? How come they didn't clear her airways and focus on her getting breath and oxygen to her brain? That nurse was right. She was dead. The source said he paid to get them to fake the paperwork, but as you can see, they couldn't really fake it too much. Strong post. Remember, strong post. She said, she said, what the hell does that mean? Okay, if her post was so strong, how come you didn't get her airways cleared to preserve oxygen to the brain? That's the first thing you do. Right? They lie.
Everybody lying.
And you remember the nurse said, what the hell does strong post mean? Was it one something over what? You didn't even document what that is. They said he paid them to fake the paperwork, right? But she had been dead for hours before even taking her there. She was dead in the hotel. Then he personally drove her to the big main hospital after the first hospital. And then the big main hospital is where she was pronounced dead for real. No ambulance or police had been notified at this point. Wow. And that's why the hotel made the freaking call.
Wow.
Remember, we kept saying, why in the hell would the resort call and say that the daughter is dead? That ain't your damn place. Why would and y'all, oh, because of this. Listen, that is not protocol. That's why the resort made the call and not the hospital or the law enforcement officials. They were brought in later.
See?
That's why Joe called after. You remember the mama said, the hotel called me first. And then Joe called me. They had to get the lie together.
They had to get the lie
So the
together.
hotel called
Yeah.
first, and then she said that Joe said Ashlee on her way to the hospital, she did something to herself. Didn't that sound crazy to y'all? And everything's all alleged because I wasn't there. So let me just say alleged. And this is coming from a source that is right there. That they're going to remain anonymous. They do not have the freedom of speaking out like we do here in the U.S. of A.
So she got to keep her sources anonymous, because if they find out who's talking from over there after they're trying to cover up everything, right, they might not be safe over there. So, hey, Dina, so she got to keep her sources anonymous, but we don't know who she's talking to. She don't know who she's talking to. She don't know them. I could call her right now and tell her I'm in Tanzania and I seen everything that happened in the hotel and just start talking. We don't know. Right? It's all about payoff. That's right, Naja. Africa is a payoff state. Every step you make, I heard out there, is people's panhandling. Oh, you want to know where the market is? Oh, you know what? You want to know where to go party? Oh, do you want to know where your package went that you ordered that you don't have? Everything. So imagine what's going on with this case. Let's listen.
Drove her to the big hospital. At this point, the ambulance or the police had not been notified. And then they go back and say, remember in the first report, that fake report, and it said the body was cold and she was simply wrapped in a blanket? That's why. Literally, there was nothing they can do for her. You remember the nurse that came on? That's an ICU cardiovascular nurse. She said, why the hell would they put a blanket on her? Joe did that. Joe did that.
No more wars. Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu should have never started this war in Iran, and they must end it now.
Lord.
In Congress, I won't vote for.
Every time I hear that name, I want to throw up. But listen,
we should be using your tax dollars to fund
this case is all discombobulated. The girl's getting put to rest.
Here at home, not more.
But I got grabbing my phone. Okay, Chiquita, I moved the page and you moved me to another page. Oh, I didn't move you to no page. I didn't move you, Chiquita. You probably just came out or hit something. But I didn't touch anything, Chiquita. Right? So this girl is getting put to rest. But one thing I believe, right, in which this man knows,
teenagers are full of surprises,
is that when he comes to the U.S., when he steps out, that's why they keep talking about he's being questioned. I don't think he's being questioned. I think that he's over there hiding out, and they keep telling us that he's being questioned. Because he knows once he steps foot on U.S. soil, it's going to be on and popping. And them parents, they better put a doggone pin in their behind and get it popping and start moving. Right? Who paid for her to come back? And that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question.
It was nothing they could do for it. That's why they didn't try to preserve.
They might have took some of that money and transported her back.
There was nothing they could do.
Let's see if I can find out.
It was Sexy RN. Thank you. Sexy RN. Shout out to you. You said, I need to know what time Ashlee called her mom and why her mom no longer saying anything. Who knows? That's a good question. We all want to know. Why did they go get that stuff? And the family never, well, he's in jail, apparently. Because now the police commander is like, you're not taking me down with you. But here's the crazy part. They're still saying it's a suicide, but the investigation is still ongoing. They won't let him go because they know he did it, allegedly. They're just trying to figure out either the payday has got to be paid, the price has to be right, or you staying in here. See, I thought he had already left because they made it very clear initially he is being held until pending results.
They
of
say
the
that the
autopsy
family
release.
pay for her to come back.
I said, he's home.
With the
Because they
GoFundMe
finished
money.
the autopsy on the 14th, right? And they're saying suicide, that she took her own life. But they did not want to give the autopsy results to the parents. So as a result, they had to get a second autopsy, an independent
So
one.
they're saying
conducted. But
Ashlee's
Zanzibar, what I'm being
Ashlee's mother and father used the GoFundMe money to bring her back and also pay for her homegoing, to pay for a funeral, being made to rest, coffin, and anything that comes with it. Yeah.
told us, they're saying, he can't go nowhere. Now, look, does it make sense for you to hold an innocent man if the young lady actually took her life? Either way, it's a conflicting reports between what the police authorities are saying and how Joe's been treated. Because why would you hold an innocent man? If you're for sure, she took her life, he should have been home.
Right?
Let me continue. Okay. So that's why the first hospital, they couldn't do nothing for her. She was dead. So he drove her to the second hospital. I don't know why.
Oh, so she went to 2 hospitals. Oh.
Joe is in custody.
He's laying up with other girls. You think so?
Suicide, because they do not play about their tourism money. Okay, there we go.
That's why I get the feeling that he's not really being held for questioning, because it doesn't make sense. It's going over 2 weeks. You don't get held 15 days for questioning. How much questions you got to ask? Right? I feel like they're saying that because he's scared to come home to the U.S. because he knows it's on and popping. See, one thing I know about cases, right? And yeah, because he's rich. Well, he's rich, Naja, but he lost a lot of his money. So he's rich, but he's not that rich anymore. But he still got money, though. You know what I'm saying? When they say these rich people are broke, it's not our broke. Like when we broke, you can't buy a cup of coffee. When they're broke, they mean, oh, you only got $1 million. You're poor. That's their broke. I feel like he's scared. He knows when he comes to the U.S. One thing I know about the U.S. is the FBI could pick the case up without anybody pressing charges. And when he comes back, it's on and popping. They're going to get those phone records. They're going to get her laptop records. They're going to get her phone call she made. They're going to get the voice messages. He knows that. Either you got to come home sometime or you're going to move to Tanzania. What's up, Reggie? Or go somewhere else. Go to another country. For all we know, he might be in another country. He might be in another country for all we know. What's up, Reggie? We don't know. Let's listen.
At all. So they are attempting to cover it big time by withholding info. So in one instance, what the source is saying, they do have to protect the tourism economy. But they know Joe did it, and they're trying to hold him accountable. There's still some questions around that. Because how do I hold him accountable without drawing too much global attention to the death at a resort?
Millie broke down to my last million. Dan, what's
and
up,
also
Dan?
one that owns it. So it sounds like Zanzibar is in a pickle.
They're trying to get evidence.
Thank you, Daphne, for the $10 super chat. You says, can't the family have another autopsy? They're having that done right now. They probably should have already had it done or received the results.
Yeah, they probably had the autopsy independently done when she got home, right? Before the funeral. They're burying her kind of fast after she got home, right? But here's the thing. In Tanzania, they could have altered her body. They could have did stuff to her body, right? But you can't alter those internal organs because then you would have to open her up. And they're going to see that. And they're going to say, if it was a suicide by hangation, then why does she have a cut in her stomach? Why is her chest cut open? But they do got to do the autopsy over there. Don't they got to cut you open? Right? Don't they got to cut you open to do the autopsy? So they could cut her open and do whatever they want and manipulate stuff. Where there's a will, there's always a way. But the autopsy over here, the autopsiers are good. They could probably tell us somebody altered something, right? Because we got the state-of-the-art utility over here. I don't know what Tanzania got. Tanzania probably got a knife and a fork doing autopsy over there for all we know. I don't know what their level of technology is over there. They could be doing autopsies with a steak knife and a fork. We don't know. Look, it's but we got state-of-the-art equipment, and we can tell if you altered the alteration and you altered the altered. Joe knows when he steps off that plane and he sets his toes on American soil that he's going to get cooked by the FBI. They waiting for him at the door. They waiting for Joe at the door. Or maybe not. Because you know he down with the complexion connection. So we don't know how it's going to go. Right? Now, I don't want to make this a color thing, but if it was a rich little white girl that went over there, they would be digging the dirt up on them. They'd be sending Secret Service over there. They'd be sending the FBI, get on a plane and go over there. You know, the rich got a lot of privileges. When you have money, it changes things. Let's listen.
You said the medical examiner who had, that's why. Okay, now we're going to go back and look at the first report. So you remember, they left a trace. The first hospital staff left a trace that he was lying. So even if they accepted a bribe, they still left a little bit of room to get out of it. Remember, they said the husband said she did this to herself, and he found her like this. He was in the room with her when she died. And they put question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. We're gonna review that.
Thank you so much.
That was at
Thank
the
you,
first.
DJ. Cool Kevin's
That was
here.
at the first hospital. The second hospital may not have been
What's
viable.
up, Cool Kev? Everybody coming in. We're covering the Ashlee Jenae case. We talked about the White House dinner Uda, who they're saying didn't really ooch stuff. All right. And we talked about Spirit Airlines closing down. Today's the last day of, today's not, yesterday was the last day of Spirit Airlines. Cool Kev, what's up, DJ? Cool Kev in the building. Everybody follow Cool Kev. He be doing those cool intersections over there on his live. You go to his post. He got all the intersections in New York. So, Cool Kev, did you hear about Spirit Airlines closing? Spirit Airlines is closed down, y'all. It's gone. Thank you, Cool Kev. Thank you. Yeah, so now we're talking about Ashlee Jenae. It's a lot of twists and turns in the case. Now they're saying that she was never separated, that they have another insider that's talking, right? They're saying that he unalived her and wrapped her in a white sheet and transported her to the hospital. They're saying that he owns a stake over there in a couple of things. Like he owns shares of the hospital transportation company. He got shares in the hotel. Okay. Spirit left us stranded in Vegas. They left you stranded in Vegas? How so? Was that recently, Cool Kev? What was that? Spirit is something else, huh? I know I'd be watching all those fights that they have on Spirit. Spirit be having those fights. They be snatching wigs and fighting in the house. Wow. But they had those competitive prices. So now all the prices on the tickets, now they don't got no more competition. The prices on the tickets are going to go up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Cool Kev, DDG is streaming all his whole concert tour. It's good. You need to watch it. I think the last day is in Miami. He's in Miami right now. I'm gonna watch it when I get off later. It's good. You're watching DB. I love DDG, boy. I like DDG. I like it. I like watching streamers, the mostly on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. But I really like DDG, man. I feel like he's a great music artist. I wish I could have got to the New York concert, but I had a big interview the same day. I had to make a choice. Do I go to my interview or do I go to, I had like an audition / interview that same day for the thing that I was telling you about, that I'm going to tell you all about when I debut, that they're going to make a cartoon of me and I'm going to debut on this other site, but the site is in Asia. But I'm going to be able to invite y'all to it. But I'm going to be on this site in Asia that they invited me to go to. But it's going to take them 2 months to design the cartoon of me. But I tried to help them along. I showed you my cartoon design, right? Was y'all here when I showed you my cartoon design? They probably are turning it into something else. But I want to help them along the way, so maybe it won't take 2 months, but I got to work with the designer team. So that's why I told y'all to join my Discord so that when I make my debut over there, that y'all can come and watch. You know what I'm saying? Come and watch and support. Let's see if I can find it. So this is so they supposed to design the design, but they did ask me, did I have a design? I said no at the time, but I said, look, I'm savvy. Let me design my own design and kind of help them out. Right? So this is what I came up with. Wait, hold on. This is what I came up with, y'all. You like it? So I got a mic in my hand. I got a big here. I was here when you talked about it. You was here, Chiquita? Yeah, some people wasn't in here. So I'm showing. Let me pull it back. See it? So that's the design I came up with them to start with. You like it? You like it, Naja? Yeah. So I designed that myself. So that when I'm talking on that app, I'm going to be a cartoon. It might be like this, or they might tweak it and design something else. Right? And I'll be live over there. And the thing about it is, I could go live, like I could be laying in my bed. I could lay in my bed and go live. And you don't have to put on no makeup, no nothing. When you go on the phone and then you're a cartoon. Asia is on some stuff. That's why the man that starts with a T got his chromies to buy part of the clock, because they can't figure out the clock, how it's built and its algorithm. The USA people can't figure that out. So they bullied them into giving them a piece of it instead of figuring it out, because they couldn't figure it out. Okay? You're going to show any of the, oh yeah, maybe we'll show it. Maybe we'll show it if they televise it. I don't know if they're going to stream it though, because I don't know I don't know if their family is savvy like that. I was trying to go out there, but it's like 4 hours away from me. Okay, and it's been glitchy ever since. What's been glitchy, Shalea? Thank you so much. Thank you, Lori. What's been glitchy? Oh, the app, since the man with the T, yeah. Since the man with the T bought it, yeah. And we're probably missing some perks that they're getting over there from the Asian people. I liked it better when it was over there. Is it is it Japan? What part, or China? Is TikTok China or Japan, y'all? Which one is it? The guy said he's from neither. The CEO said he's not from China or Japan. I think he's from Singapore. Tappa Lounge Jail now. What's Tappa Lounge Jail? What is that, Naja? Oh, China. What's Tappa's Lounge Jail? What is that? What is Tappa's Lounge Jail now? What is that? Naja said Tappa's Lounge Jail. They put you in jail for tapping. I never heard of that. Not the tapper that I got. Naja, you gotta get the tapper that I got. You got to get the one that I got. You how did I send it to Cindy? How did I send it to the other people? But mine is for Android. I'm sure there's one for Apple, but you go in the Play Store or the App Store and they got them right there. Oh, you use your fingers. Oh no. I got stuff from, well, let me be quiet. Don't tell TikTok. Naja, somehow I got to get it to you. What I got. What I got, it never went in jail. And I gave it to my peoples too. They're doing good with it. Right? And it's set to a degree where it doesn't put you in the jail. I thought they said Cardi B was paying for Ashlee's funeral. They did mention that. It's funny that you brought that up, because I did hear something mention that. Let's look it up. Did Cardi B pay for Ashlee funeral? Let's see. Yeah, Naja, I got to get in contact with you somehow so I could send you. You got Android or iPhone? It's called Auto Tap, y'all. Auto Tap. I don't know if I got to find my iPhone. I got to get another iPhone, y'all. I got the lowest iPhone. Somebody said I didn't even know that they made an iPhone 8. I said I got an iPhone 8. I just bought it from the eBay store just to have an iPhone. They was like, I didn't even know they made it, went down to 8. What are they up to? 17? I had an iPhone 8. I don't know where that phone is at. That phone is laying around somewhere. I got to get it and power it back up. It still works. I just don't know where it's at. It's around here somewhere in my desk. You know what I'm saying? But you could find it. Okay, let me show you. Everybody screenshot it. Hold on. I'm going to show you one more time. Let me show y'all. Let me show you what the one I got. Now, the one I got is for Android, right? I'm going to show you what it looks like. And it's called Auto Clicker. Auto Clicker is called, right? And look, that's it. Take a screenshot of it. See the little hand? See that hand in the corner? Everybody screenshot it. Especially if you got Android. Screenshot it, y'all. Okay, is it clear now? Screenshot it. Tap the screen if it's not clear till it's clear. Screenshot it, y'all. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. Screenshot. Now somebody go in the App Store and tell me if it's in the App Store. Tell me if it's in the app. Let me chat GTP it, y'all. We is bold. We just outright talking. We don't care. Look, they selling the clickers in the TikTok shop, y'all. They selling the clickers in the TikTok shop. Okay, ain't they? Am I right or wrong? Ain't they selling Ain't they selling the clickers in the TikTok shop, y'all? Ain't they? Here it is, y'all. Who didn't get it? Everybody get that. Okay, we're going to get 1 million clicks every day. Everybody get that. Everybody get it. See that? Everybody get it. Screenshot, screenshot. Screenshot. If you can't find it, chat GTP it. It'll bring and sell it. Tell chat GTP to give you the link to the picture. You take the picture, you upload it to chat GTP and tell it to find the link. Right? Now, it might be a few of them in there. Look at the reviews. Get the one with the highest reviews and the highest download. So let me see. Let me chat GTP it for you. Hold on. I want to see if it's in, hold on, we done changed the subject. But we're going to rock and roll over here. Because Naja said, I think Kim also told me a while ago that she was in tapping jail too. So, you know, with this, Naja, you ain't going to be in no tapping jail and you ain't going to have to use nothing. All you got to do is set it up and let it go. You know what I'm saying? You see that? See the circle? See the circle? See the arrow? right? It's easy. You set it to 400 milli whatever. Set it to 400 and set it and forget about it. You might have to stop it if you make a comment though. Sometimes it won't let you, comment. Right? But let's see. Let's see. Photos. You see that auto clicker? Give me the link for it in the Android store and a link for it in the Apple store. Now, this is why I need y'all in the Discord, because we should be talking about this in the Discord. So after I get off today, I'm going to put both links in my Discord. You can use it for you. You can use, this is good for anybody's room you go into. Work smart, not hard, right? So let's see. I see it. That's an Android auto clicker. Looks like one of them. Okay. Says there are a few versions, similar icons. I'm going to give you the closest matching. Okay, so it gave me the closest match. Okay, most popular one looks like yours. Okay, so I got the link. Wait, let me see if I click it. Open the link. It's going to say I already got it downloaded. Okay, item not found. Why is the item not found? Okay, let's see. Open link. Okay, so it's the first one. So it's saying I got it installed. So, okay, so I got the link, y'all. So if you got Android, I got the link. Now watch this. So I'm going to put it, and when I get off, I'm going to put it in the Discord. And you'll get it. Y'all can use it for it. It's cool. Never had no problems with it. Work smart, not hard. Stick with knockouts. She'll show you how to do it, son. Okay, so now look, let's get it for Apple. Give me a same version or a good one for Apple, though, that work and that got really good reviews and also free. This one is free. Work smart, not hard. Hello. Right? It's all like, I know I talk about the news, but it's all kind of look. Ooh, we can do it. Well, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold up, y'all. I want y'all to, everybody, we want to progress. Work smart, not hard. They sell clickers in the TikTok shop to this day, don't they? It's like, just like I forgot when I told you about the time that I ended the TikTok and I forgot. And I said, ooh, I thought I was done, right? I ended the TikTok, right? And then I took my wig off. I had the stocking cap and everything. And I looked and the YouTube was still running. The YouTube was still running. And I just took my wig off. I said, oh, shiznit. Oh, you found it in the Play Store? Yeah, see? Which one you got, Android or Apple, Naja? It's easy to set up, right? It's easy to set up, y'all. Look, let me show you. It's easy to set up. I'm going to put a video in the Discord too, okay? You Naja, see that little, when you open it, you see the little circle right there? The little wheel, right? You open up that wheel and you set it to 400 milliseconds. 400 milliseconds. You can set it from 300 to 400. So that way it's undetectable, right? And then you open it and you let it go. Now, sometimes you got to force stop it. If it doesn't open, you got to go to your settings and force stop it, because sometimes it won't open. And you know how it gets like little glitches. So you go force stop it and then you open it again. Really easy to use. Really easy to use. But I'm going to put a video up in my Discord showing y'all how to use it and set it up. I'll do it sometime today when I get off. Right? Okay. So let's see. So I think Chat GTP, let's see. Apple doesn't. Okay, so the Apple has something called switch control built into the iPhone, right? And you go to your, so I'm gonna put that in there too, the instructions. You go to your settings, you tap accessibility, you tap switch control, you turn it on, you go to recipes and create a recipe, then you set it to tap where you want automatically. And it has unlimited taps and it works on most apps and it's totally free. No downloads needed. Okay, who knows about that? Okay, here's the directions. Screenshot it. Okay, let me turn it around. Wait, hold on, y'all. Let me turn the mirror around. Okay, if you got Apple, screenshot this. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Okay, screenshot this if you got Apple. Hold on, I'm trying to hold it right, y'all. Screenshot it. Y'all got it? So that's if you got Apple. So Apple has it built in your phone. I didn't even know that. Did y'all know that? Who got the Apple? Are y'all screenshotting it? Screenshot it. Screenshot it. That's the directions, y'all. I'm trying to hold it that y'all can see it. And I'm going to also put a screenshot of this in the Discord. Okay, screenshot it. Right? So you got Apple? Yeah, so screenshot that. Okay, you can go to settings, tap accessibility, tap switch control, turn it on, go to recipes, create a new recipe. I'm going to find out what the, wait, let's see. How do you create a new recipe? Okay, let's see. So it's going to tell me how to create a new recipe. Okay, here goes how you create a recipe if you don't know that. Screenshot it, y'all. Swipe the comments away and screenshot it. Swipe the comments, screenshot it, y'all. So I'm going to put all of this in the Discord charge. Join the discharge. I'm going to put it in the discharge. All right? So you name it, auto tap or fast tap or whatever you want to name it, and then you assign it an action. So to tap, assign, and switch, then you tap full screen, then you choose tap. Then this tells your phone every time it scans, tap the screen. So it's telling your phone just to tap the screen, just in general. So this one on Apple works everywhere. The one I gave you just works on the clock, the auto one. But the one for iPhone works everywhere. All right. So I will be, make sure you join the Discord. I will be putting it in the main announcement section in the Discord. Okay. Or the whole instructions and the whole link for for Android. But if you got Android, you should be able to go and find it right away. Who found it already? Somebody already told me they found it. Who found it? Somebody already told me that they found it. So listen, y'all. Okay, we've been on for 4 hours. We learned the gut of it. That is twists and turns with this case. We're going to pick it up from the Ashlee case tomorrow. We're going to pick up the rest of the Ashlee case tomorrow. All right? And we're going to come back at it. Now, don't quote me, but I might come back on a little late night stuff later. I might come back, but don't quote me. If you don't see me tonight, I will be on tomorrow morning early. Okay, I'll be on tomorrow morning early. And during the week, I think I'm going to try to come on 8 o'clock every day because I need to catch my people from London. All right? I need to catch my London people. So hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're going to let the Y to the 2Z go first. Hold on. So thank you, everybody on YouTube for joining. You can watch this back. Give me a thumbs up. All right? Give me a thumbs up. Share it. Like it. Comment. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you early tomorrow. All right? Goodbye, everybody. It's been fun.
Is the Miss Knockout Show on the airwaves? So like, if I, share if I, bless if I the flow. Is the Miss Knockout Show? Now you already know. Hot topics, music, info, and more. If you ain't tapped in, what you came here for? MKO got the vibe, that's a full takeover. From beats to biz talk, yeah, the queen stay in clover. Trending every lane, I'm the glow you can't block. When I drop gems, whole chat goes shock. We don't do brokeify, now we amplify. Stay blessed if I let the energy fly. Hit that tap if I keep it all in the flow. Cause it's the Miss Knockout Show. Knockout Show. Hot topics, beats and the glow. You rockin' with Miss Knockout. Let's go. Let's fight.